can't kill Michael Myers! It's impossible!
This is what happens when you work to change things.
You're being a little bitch.
What do you fucking want from me? Get off my dick!
You know, if you don't understand the situation, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so...
Boy, wiser words have never been spoken.
Man,
Mr. Tony San...
You a bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you, Mr. Tony San. Thank you, Mr.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying it? What are you saying? Huh?
Frankie Mohammed.
First thing,
Oh, good evening.
they fight you.
And welcome back to an absolute another one. Here we are.
And then all the
And so we had a lot of things happen. We've had great things happening. We have wonderful things happening, beautiful things happening. And I didn't realize that a lot of these beautiful things were happening. So I already had something planned out for this live stream, and we're going to touch on that, and we're going to touch on some other things, these recent happenings, right? So I did write a little introduction here for this, which I'm calling Alan's analysis. Trying to be more focused. I'm trying to be more targeted. I'm trying to be more succinct. So this is that attempt, which is going to fail. It's going to fail epically because of all the other happenings. I did my research a couple nights ago, and for this, and set everything up. And well, you know, things when you're in the meme stock world, things change quickly. You know, they change fast. You got to be on it. And I wasn't on it. So I apologize for that. But we'll do what we can, right? We do what we can. So before I launch into my little spiel here, I do want to say that we have the finance chat over there. Join it. And yeah, the link's in the description. Let me get our live YouTube chat kind of plugged in here. I'm having a little trouble with that. I'll work on that. I'll work on that. So, anyway, welcome to Alan's Analysis. This is episode 1 of this live stream topic series thing. And tonight, I want to dive into a topic that I think is both... well, it's hilarious and deeply frustrating, if not troubling. And that is the absolute bonkers world of these AMC stock price predictions that we've seen. And I think we can only describe them as the most delusional corner of the investing universe. This was before the events, the happenings of the last couple days, though. So, again, I don't know if... I don't know if this is truly still accurate. But anyway, let's also say hi to Manuel and Model 3 Dude and Charlotte, who are the stalwarts over there in the live stream chat, and any lurkers and anybody else. Welcome. We're here for you. I love you.
Illuma!
So, look, I get it. I get it. We all want to believe in a magical money printer that'll turn what might be a modest investment into generational wealth overnight. But what we've seen and what we're seeing still with these so-called apes and their price predictions and their price floors is nothing short of a fairy tale. It's magical thinking. It's a financial fairy tale. I mean, imagine believing you can just declare that a stock price will increase by $100,000 every single month. Like, I don't know, like you're some kind of stock market wizard casting a spell. Well, I got a spoiler alert. That's not how any of this works. But, you know, here's the real thing. And this is the important part. It's not just about dunking on these misguided investors, and it's never been about that. It's about something that's way more crucial and necessary. We all need our meme stock dunking time, but the real necessity is maintaining objectivity and staying evidence-based, especially when money is on the line. It's incredibly easy to get caught up in our own narratives, to only hear what we want to hear, to believe what makes us feel good, yada, yada, yada. But the market doesn't care about your hopes, doesn't know about your dreams, and it's not on board with your increasingly wild spreadsheet fantasies. Now, we all know, I think, that true wealth building isn't about wishful thinking. It's about being honest with yourself, ruthlessly so. Being willing to look at information that might not only go against what you think already, but information that might completely destroy this beautiful story that you've told yourself about an investment. And really, it's about having the humility to admit when you're wrong, cut your losses, to learn from your mistakes, to move on, try again. And to fail better next time, right? So it reminds me of a quote: you try and fail, and then you try again and fail better, or fail again. But the apes are living proof of what happens when you let the emotional side of something, anything, completely override the rational side of it. And, you know, balanced people know intuitively, probably, that it is a balance of emotion and rational thinking in our day-to-day lives, and we have to walk that middle path, right? In dialectical behavioral therapy, which I probably would recommend to most apes if I were a practicing mental health professional, that's one of the major skills that is taught. And it's learning how to juggle the rational side of our thinking with the emotional feeling side of ourselves. And it's like you can do what your brain is telling you is the right thing based on the numbers, based on the data, but it may not be what you want to do in your heart of hearts. And that reconciliation is what it's all about. That's what makes the people that are good at this good at it, or anything, really, anything. Okay? So they've so invested themselves in this narrative that they basically, and you know, we don't know how many there are, how many there were, how many are left, but you know, there's a lot of people, let's just say that, there's a lot of people who have basically guaranteed their own total financial destruction through this. And it is painful and cringy, and you know, on some level it is sad to watch this, to watch people enthusiastically burn their own money while convincing themselves that they're striking gold. We could say that about a lot of other things going on in the world right now, possibly. Painful, frustrating to watch people enthusiastically cheer on the destruction of something that you know that they care about. You know that means something to them. It means something to everyone. But these people are standing by, throwing money onto the pile while pointing their finger at us and others who tried to call us out and, you know, say, oh, but I'm about to strike gold. Just a little bit more. I just got to dig a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. So strap in. And we're going to break down some magical thinking, some portfolio destroying dreams, and some just wild shit, let's say. So let's get into it. So let's start with the topic at hand, and then we'll kind of backpedal a little bit. And I'm going to do my best to keep up with chat, even though, well, during the first video that we have coming up here, I'm going to work on getting the chat linked back up. I don't know what happened there, but somebody, you know, and it's they don't want you guys to be heard. They don't want us to be heard. But Model 3 Dude says, Manuel says, no psychological advice, entertainment purposes only. No advice whatsoever. Purely entertainment purposes. Sonny Corax, how you doing, man? Says, but that won't happen, Scott, because everything post-2021 is making excuses for their mistakes, i.e. Project Popcorn losers. And we're not under the delusion that we can change anybody's mind, nor do we want to. But I came across this a while back, and Model 3 Dude says, look at the comments on Trey's last video. It's crazy. We will do that. We will do that. But I came across this image here a while back, and I saved it to my hard drive. And we've got the 2021 OG Ape Law price per share floor system. And I don't know if this is like a floating floor system or if it's a rigid floor. So I don't know what kind of floor system we've got here. I don't know if it's like luxury vinyl tile or if it's like good old-fashioned old growth longleaf pine or what. But we've got this floor system here. And it started on January of 2021 at $100,000 per share on the price per share floor system. And we've got it increasing by $100,000 every month. And I don't know when this image was produced, but they have it up until December of 2023, which I think is hilarious that all throughout, you know, the bear market, of 2022, it was still increasing by $100,000 per share, you know, every month. I mean, imagine just waving your magic wand and saying, nope, I'm not selling until this gets, what is it, July 2022? Nope. Now you owe me $1.9 million times the absurd number of shares that I have wasted this money on. Okay. You're not going to sell your shares until the price reaches 1.9 million per share. Got it. Cool. Hey, that's your choice. But yeah, how's that one going? Sonny says that's what's crazy with the Trey stuff. Everyone turning on AMC and Adam Aaron for obvious reasons, but can't fully escape the conspiracy and take responsibility. I'm curious what you think of the Trey video. We looked at it in the last live stream. It was pretty much the only thing we did, which was cool. And I have my thoughts on it, but I'm curious about other opinions. So I went ahead and extrapolated this out to 2025. And I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to check my math. There's really no reason to do so. But yeah, I came up with $5.2 million per share which is what this 2021 OG Ape Law price per share floor system would imply. Now, I don't know if anybody actually is out there pushing this now. I don't know if anybody even remembers this. I just thought it was hilarious that you could arbitrarily set this schedule. I mean, really what this is, it's not a floor system, it's a schedule. It's a schedule. It's like Schedule K on your taxes. You know, you make this much or whatever, you have this many dependents, and you get to deduct this number of amounts or whatever. Schedule. So they scheduled the price for different time and different prices. And I remember them talking about the floor. I absolutely remember them talking about the floor at one point. But yeah, this is just, you know, it's just wild. Now, we are going to pop over to AMC stock on Reddit and see what's going on there, because this is where this came from. And I have no idea. It's been a while. But we've still got this Ortex clown out here. And it's been a while since we've looked at the short interest of AMC. I mean, if you still think, here, let me just say this. If you are still convinced that something like Ortex is going to tell you something useful about shit, what's wrong with you? Quite frankly, where have you been the last 4 fucking years? And oh, look, the short interest is worth not even $125 million. Wow. And it's less than 10%. That's cool. I have to be honest with you. I don't even know what I don't even know what the float is on AMC at this point. What is it, like 200 million shares or something? I can't even, I don't even know. Oh, 420. Oh, they're back up that high. Wow. Okay. Okay. So they're back up that high with the price this low. Damn, that is something. That's remarkable. But we see this clown out here still pushing this short interest narrative. Like, get the hell out of here, man. Get out of here. Price still held flat while pressure grows. Current mood. I love that bears cry, "Why doesn't Ortex guy take my questions to him seriously?" LOL. Come on. You are a bear without any skin in this game. No apes are taking you seriously. They don't take anything seriously. I have no expectation of being taken seriously by the apes. I have no expectation of being taken seriously by someone who still manages to call themselves an ape. In fact, I don't even want them listening. Apes, you can just turn off the stream now. The video of Jordan Affolter still desperately trying to prove their conspiracies from the Delaware lawsuit. Hey, we'll play anything. And Manuel says it's a tragedy we don't have Al from Boston Video reacting to a chart that supposedly showed a share price of $250K, or his We Won video. Yeah. Yeah. In hindsight, we should have downloaded his whole channel when we had the chance. Damn, that was a missed opportunity. Missed opportunity to ridicule an absolute shill. 2 years on, and these clowns are still at it. 2 years at it, and these clowns are still on it. Is what I meant to, what I started to say, which 2 years later, and these guys are still getting high on their own farts. It's insane. Okay. Okay, I just got the I just got a link from Manuel. So let's check out this link. Let's check out this video. Boom. Boom. Not the whole thing, but some of it.
This video is to list and provide the evidence that the AMC ape destruction was intentionally planned against AMC shareholders by the AMC board. The evidence will be pulled directly from the court documents in case 2023-0215
Oh.
MTZ in the Delaware Chancery Court. So this video is essentially going to be a one-stop shop covering all the most essential exhibits. So we'll go ahead and get into the introduction. We'll get into the actual evidence. I've got my notes pulled up here, as you can see. Just because there's,
I'm gonna speed them up a little bit, and we'll listen to a little bit of it, and I'm gonna try to get my chat display working, and I'll be right back with y'all.
The AMC Project Popcorn YouTube channel. Reminder: AMC Project Popcorn is a website run by retail shareholders, the focus of which is to expose the fraud that AMC leadership and their partners orchestrated the scheme, Project Popcorn, against AMC shareholders. Retail run the AMC Popcorn or AMC Project Popcorn website. We're running a share count in order to display the average shares held by AMC shareholders and expose synthetics. Our team is also working on hiring representation, legal representation.
We're going to look at that share count too.
Is evidence from the court case. Going back to legal representation.
And FYI, this is from 1 day ago. 1 day ago. Oh my God. I thought this was going to be from like last year. This is from 1 day ago? Holy moly. All right.
To the AMC Project Popcorn website where you can participate in the share count. All right, so going back to this, the evidence we provide in this video is evidence we've learned from the court case. There are likely more elements to the AMC Project Popcorn scheme that were not provided in the public court docs. We're still learning more as more evidence comes forward, but this is what we have as of today, March 25th, 2025. All right, so this video will not cover every item in the exhibits, but the most compelling exhibits and emails and documents that prove this fraud against AMC shareholders. Another series on this channel that's ongoing will provide more of a deep dive into individual exhibits, some of which will be covered in this video, some of which will not, just because we won't have time to cover everything on this video. So once again, we'll focus specifically on the court docs. One thing you just want to note, others in the community have detailed videos on the topics of public statements made by the AMC board, CEO Adam Aaron, and the collaborators of the AMC board that supported the AMC Project Popcorn, or I should say the Project Popcorn fraud that the AMC board committed against AMC shareholders. So for that topic, I recommend you go to the YouTube channel AMC Heist of the Century. He has a series called Heist of the Century and another series called One Nation Under Fraud that covers that topic. Yeah,
that's that creepy guy from like Arizona or whatever, right? Like that one guy.
In terms of exposing the bad actors.
Not Lou. I can't remember his damn name. I don't know. That guy. That one guy. That one idiot.
Project Popcorn site, and I'm just explaining it here. Reminder before we get started, if you've not already, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications on this channel. Links to the AMC Project Popcorn website and Twitter handle will be in the description. To participate in the share count, we'll leave those links as well. One thing of note also, in the description, we'll leave direct links to the court docs. And there's two main places you can review them.
I don't want to be tempted to subscribe.
It is, and I'll show that in a little bit, but essentially the whole docket is here on Docket Alarm. You do need a subscription to see everything on that channel or on this page. You can view a few free pages.
There we go. Yeah, John Hartranet.
At the end.
Right.
There are a lot of documents here, but like I said, you may need to log in to view all the documents. But for reference, this is the public record.
All right, we'll go with that for now and see if it works. Oh, it's working. Good.
The other place where you can find them, it's a little less organized, but you can download more of them without having to log in, is on AMC's website, actually. If you go to Investor Relations at amctheaters.com, you'll go to the Resources tab, and then you'll search Legal and Tax Info. It's not organized quite as well, but once again, you can go through it a little bit easier.
All right, let's get to the real...
Where we're going to get the document we'll be looking at today. The main document we'll be focusing on is Daniel Myers' affidavit document. I'll explain that in just a second. And as you can see...
So who's Daniel Myers? My first question, who's Daniel Myers?
Site, the tax document, legal...
And I'm not asking my chat, although you can say if you know, but I'm asking him. Personally, I don't like to throw out names or anything and assume that anybody knows what is being talked about. But, yeah, I mean, especially if the idea is to bring people in from outside of your little cult already. I'm sure the cult members know exactly who John Myers or whatever his name is, or whatever. But I have no idea. So, yeah, maybe he'll say.
Under resources, legal and tax info. Control F to search, and you'll go ahead and search Myers. Let's try Daniel.
I'm sorry, Daniel Meyer.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and we're going to, you can download or open that. We'll go ahead and just open it in a new tab. All right, and so this is the document right here. This is public. You can download, you don't have to log in or anything. And we'll go ahead and go back to our notes and come back to this in just a second. All right, so just an overview, Daniel Myers affidavit. So just a recap from the case back in 2023. So regarding this case, we're going to go through more chronologically, but just for the sake of this video, for those who wanted to object to the proposed settlement in 2023, shareholders were given about a month or so to file their objections in May 2023. The exhibits that were displayed in the Daniel Myers affidavit were supposed to be filed publicly so shareholders could review them before submitting their objections, but they were initially filed as sealed in early May 2023. They were filed incorrectly as sealed by the plaintiffs who claimed to represent AMC shareholders. And they were sealed until May 20th, which was about 10 or 11 days before the actual deadline to submit the objections in May 2023. So on May 20th, that's when the court...
Well, that sounds like a scandal.
Information publicly. They also made AMC post it on their website. The total number of pages of documents that were sealed initially were over 1,500.
Don't forget about Tony, too. Tony's there with him. He's probably drinking a Virgin Shirley He's probably drinking, you know,
review all this information, incorporate into their
a Mai Tai. I don't know.
Submit their objections at the end of May, which is extremely unrealistic. These are 900 pages of very dense material, technical documentation.
So what you're saying is, even if they had it,
etc., it's still low.
They wouldn't have been able to understand it. Okay.
But it's not realistic for shareholders, especially ones who work 40, 50, 60-hour weeks, to be able to go through all this information in a few days, type it into their objection, and submit it.
Well, I don't know who of the shareholders does that.
I filed.
Maybe now they have to.
Extended time for shareholders at that time, and that was denied because, once again, the Delaware court just ignored those concerns. So we're going to keep moving forward in the video today. So brief recap. We're
Boom.
About January 2021.
Boom.
So remember, January 2021 was where many consider the start of the meme stock phenomenon, with stocks like AMC and GME found meme status online, led to a surge in number of shareholders, people buying the stock, and the price is growing in January 2021.
Okay, so it's being pumped.
AMC's stock climbed from $2.12 on December 31st, 2020, up to around 1990 closing.
We are all familiar with this part. We all know this.
And that was also the day, January 27th, where the volume went to over 1 billion shares that day. And then just want to give a brief reminder for those reviewing past information regarding AMC stock price. You can go to a site like Yahoo to review the past historical prices, historical data. But one thing just to keep in mind, when you go back in time and you take...
Oh, Manuel, you know, you're right. AMC doesn't even have money. All their cash is set aside to pay interest. But you know who does have money? Whoa, we'll get there. Oh, sorry, foreshadowing.
21 let's do the beginning of February 2020.
Couldn't help myself.
The thing to keep in mind is that these numbers look differently than they were originally because they pushed through the reverse split, the 10 for 1. If something was $10 before...
Oh, yeah, because they pushed it through, right?
Make it $100. So with our example before, talking about on January 27th, as you can see here, it says the stock closed around $199. In our notes here, we've got it at $19.90.
Is there a time code I should jump to on this, or is he going to get to something useful soon?
So just as a reminder...
I just don't want to waste everyone's time.
That's keep that in mind for the chart. So
I got all the time in the world.
21 right now, it's pre-reverse.
Just like the apes used to say, you know, baby, hey, we've got time. They don't have time. We've got time. Shorts don't have time. Ends up they did. Anyway, if so, just tell me. I'll skip ahead.
Stock price and volume jumped very high comparatively in January 2021. So later that evening at 8 p.m.
The last minute? Really? Okay. I like that. I am on board with that.
Adam Aaron.
And you know what? I'll give him the last 3 minutes. I'll give you the last 6 minutes, 5 minutes.
Is later ended in
3.
August 2023. So, a brief summary of the Delaware Chancery case.
Oh, here we go.
This
Thank you.
Mostly to focus on the exhibits that prove that all this AMC ape destruction was planned. And there are more exhibits that prove it as well, but I just wanted to highlight the biggest ones. But essentially, with this Delaware case, what happened is the plaintiffs were friendly with the AMC board. They helped push through a fraudulent settlement in the Delaware Chancery Court. The settlement gave an overly broad release to the AMC board defendants. And the settlement...
Now, I am going to assume, and, I don't like to do that, but I'm going to assume that there's no evidence that's been presented to support that whatsoever, pretty much.
The settlement claimed...
Correct me if I'm wrong, and we will go look at those areas. In fact, maybe what we should do is come back to 11101, or roughly, but I'm just going to drop the needle in and just see what they're talking about here.
Scheme of the Century, Project Popcorn.
Oh, okay. So I dropped the needle on the record, right? Remember the records? And drop the needle on, and we're just going to pick it up randomly somewhere. Where I dropped the needle on the record happened to be where they said the scheme of the century, Project Pop. I mean, you can't make that up. I mean, that's random. I randomly clicked on this timeline, and it went to somewhere where they were using an epithet. Interesting. Okay.
Once again, this was initially conceived and presented to the AMC board as a shareholder.
You got me.
So one thing you're going to see here is it starts as a rights offering, and the rights offering would allow AMC to offer the preferred share structure to only existing shareholders. So in that scenario,
I don't know if anyone remembers this, but this dude named it's been 4 years. Apish Bambino. Josh. There we go. Josh. We, in 2021, okay, we put out a video. It was a conversation we had where we said, hey, you know what? Here's a way that Adam Aaron can raise money for the company and the apes benefit. And it's not like it's straight up dilution, which they are against, but the company needs money, obviously. So it's a way to reward existing shareholders with a rights offering. We had this idea. Hey, Lynn. How you doing? Just to say, like, that's a valid thing. Okay, that's what they said.
like an email from your broker if you owned AMC and have the option to buy more preferred shares in that scenario. So that...
It was not about the preferred shares, though. It was about regular common stock, was what we had discussed. That's what we discussed. We did some research and came up with that possible solution. Anyway, but, that was before our channel blew up. And then blew up again. Yeah.
That, in a sense, may limit the effects of dilution if it's going to existing shareholders.
Boom. Boom.
Later it's shown it's changed to an at the market offering, which is much more directly dilutive. We'll cover that a little bit more later. But at first, it appears to start as a rights offering, though that has been lip service at the moment. All right.
Of course, yeah, they didn't. Yeah, right. It was just a okay.
And plans to offer the preferred shares to its retail stockholder base through a rights offering, which is common in Europe but less so in the U.S. One AMC preferred unit would convert into one share of common stock, subject to shareholder authorization.
Sounds like a good deal to me. All right, skipping ahead.
So it shows May 27, 2022. They're looking at these stocks that have already issued this process of preferred shares. So we're going to, so they're noticing that it's apparently a precedent on the NASDAQ, but this has not happened on the NYSE before. So we're going to take a look at what happened to these stocks, but just want to note, these stocks, all three of them, experienced extreme decline in stockholder value. When they release these preferred shares, you can see the stock drops. So we're going to take a look at a few different charts here. We'll go to the end here. I screenshotted these a while ago, and we're going to take a look at each of these and see what happened. Then we'll go to Google and other sources to show to confirm. Makes it a little smaller. All right, so here's one of them, AVGR. So you can see on the chart.
Why would anybody care about this? Who gives a
19? To keep moving.
Who gives a Scott's ass?
All right, so they're talking about.
Yeah, for real.
How many they want to sell. So once again, they're taking these preferred shares that were authorized back in the 2010s sometime. They said there's 50 million. They're converting them into ape units. They're talking about 1 billion, but they eventually settle on 5 billion. We don't have, at the moment, have any documentation on where that 5 billion number came from. That is still unclear to me. If someone knows, please let me know. But at some point, it goes from 1 billion, and at least they're stating in the email some concern that retail shareholders won't like how many they're going to offer, and then it goes to 5 billion. So it's 5 times what they were, quote unquote, initially planning. So at some point, it's settled on that they're going to use these 50 million shares of preferred stock and then employing a 100-to-1.
I mean, isn't it basically because of the way that they structured the units relative to the stock itself, that the number of units would have worked out? I mean, it says right here 50 million shares of preferred stock. I mean, I wasn't a math major, but I mean, 50 million times 100 is 5 billion. So I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. Somebody double check me, not on the math, but on the concept. Wasn't that the idea? Anyway.
During concept, they could issue 1 preferred equity unit for each of the common stock shares outstanding. And they would have several billion left to share at the market or do whatever they want with.
5 billion sounds good if you are high, Lynn.
AMC announced the AMC preferred equity units.
They thought that was going to be the price.
To existing shareholders. According to the documentation, February 2022, Citigroup is the one who proposed. They call them Apes. They label them Apes. All right, so going back to documentation. So initially, the release would be the AMC board authorized 1 billion apes. The quote-unquote dividend would cover about 17 million apes that would go to existing shareholders. And then about
okay, I'm going to skip ahead.
Million apes theoretically votes, but they added 5 billion. So now
okay, here we are on this again.
Allows the AMC board to dictate the outcome of any proposal, as long as they can entice the ape shareholders to support a proposal.
Right.
So we're not gonna go over some of the detail, but I will say for those.
Why not? The devil is always in the details. That's where you make your money, is in the details, bro. What? No, we're gonna skip over the details. Okay.
Need to review the historical record. They still have the ape FAQs on the AMC website. You can review those in detail. We've already gone over the highlights of that, so we're going to skip through a little bit the notes here on this page. We already talked about this. Okay, we're gonna go forward a bit. So, ape units started trading on August 19th, 2022 AMC
Only people in history with negative charisma. Yeah.
on August 22nd, 2022, Ape commenced trading on the NYSE. All AMC stockholders should have been on equal footing, with their portfolios reflecting X number of shares
Oh,
of AMC and equivalent number of shares of Ape, maintaining fairness and equity among investors. However, many stockholders, particularly overseas brokers, did not receive their shares on time. Other stockholders reported they never received.
I'm sorry. I had muted myself. Now, regarding these international holders, I want to say, and again, please correct me if anybody, can. I didn't mean it like that. If there's a need to, please throw it out. But I seem to remember that these preferred share units were never promised, were never. It was always known that, hey, if you're an international stockholder, you may not, because the way that depository receipts work, the way that reciprocal custodying and all that crap works, I don't think that, and Canada may be an exception, Charlotte. I'm mainly talking Europe here, because of the integration, so non-North American, let's say, because the way that of course, there are differences between the two markets, but generally, it's pretty close now. Yeah, they were ADR. They were only offered in the U.S. The banks holding custody get them, but it was up to them to sell or continue to hold them. And I'm not saying that they couldn't get them. I'm saying it was discretionary. So there was no guarantee of receiving them. It was not offered. It wasn't promised to them. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. Clearly, some of them did, some of them didn't. I'm not sure exactly who, but thanks for throwing that in, Charlotte. So Charlotte's in Canada and received them there. So that's true. Okay, continuing.
Received Ape, just a cash payout.
Right, and they got a cash payout.
All right.
So who cares?
Didn't receive the correct number of Ape shares. They found that AMC and Ape opened at different prices on August 22nd. So it looks like, remember, these are pre-reverse split numbers. So if you go back, the chart's probably going to times it by 10. But AMC,
yeah, that's because it's a market.
3 cents. Ape opened.
That is because it is a market.
So essentially, from the outset, the Ape dividend accounted for about 38.
Like, imagine, imagine it being any other way. How could it be any other? This is a market. It is what sellers are willing to sell for and buyers are willing to buy for. And so and the price is only set, remember, the price only gets set when a transaction occurs. So what are you bitching about? That's just what the market valued it at. I mean, this was always like, duh. Of course it didn't trade equally. Of course it didn't, it didn't maintain a certain parity, because the market knew this was worthless garbage. Okay.
8% of AMC's original value. So it took out 38%, leaving 62% with AMC stock. So it took market capitalization away from the AMC common stock. And then on that day, Ape was halted multiple times for trading. It closed the day down. AMC dropped to $10.46, Ape to $6 end of the day.
Okay, so far I am not convinced. I have learned nothing.
The Daniel Myers.
Okay, so far I have learned nothing, and I'm not convinced of anything. Let me reverse that.
So we can see right here, 812. They're already talking about how to what is their model, decide which combination of support they need to pass this vote. All right, moving forward. On or about December 7th, 2022, Derek Van Zant from Citigroup introduced Adam Aron to Antara Capital. So we have some emails I'm going to pull up here. Many of you have seen these before, but just for reference, we're going to include them here. December 8th, Dan drafted an email with the subject titled Antara. This email includes a PDF file. Looks like 6 different versions previously of investment analysis. So we're going to go ahead and go to the exact page for the email. So we're going to page 8 on the Daniel Myers affidavit. I'm going to read it here in entirety. All right. So we'll read the first email, then the second one, which is a bit longer. So in the first email, Van Zant says, Adam/Sean attaches a preliminary ownership and vote analysis based on various investment scenarios with Antara. We need to confirm their existing stake size, but are assuming 6 million shares for now. We probably need to discuss size considerations relative to 20% threshold with your lawyers and any governance and control implications. I'm talking to Antara at 2 p.m. Eastern to connect following yesterday's lunch. Derek. Second email. Derek, once again, sending to Adam Aron, Sean Goodman, Kevin Connor, and CCing staffers at Citigroup. Derek Van Zant says, just spoke with Himanshu. Himanshu's from Antara. He was very positive on yesterday's meeting. They want to proceed, but are limited to 150 million in size due to risk limits, but believe they can stretch it to 190 million with the repurchase of their 100 million face of 2 Ls at 40. He is willing to allocate value to the bonds to provide for a higher Ape price, but we need to think this through. 190 million purchase of Apes at a 20% discount.
No, if he said that, it'd be like, no. But did you say you're sorry? Did you say you're sorry now in this meeting? Look, you didn't say you're sorry. You didn't say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to gain generational wealth. Okay, get out of here. Go back to Russia or wherever whatever country will have you. He may not have been a general, but he sure is a anyway. Continuing.
Notes at 40. AMC commits to proceeding with vote. Antara agrees to hold shares until the vote and vote in favor. He wants AMC restricted from selling more apes.
But you didn't give me my ape shares.
Apes go over $3. Also, willing to...
I'm sick of bailing out Europe.
From ATM program if ape goes over...
What about Israel, bitch?
Wants participation 8K in press release drafting. Available for public information diligence on Monday in KC, Adam and or Sean. Target transaction time frame next week.
Blah, 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 blah. Like any of these clowns understand what they're talking about here. Okay. You took the words right out of my mouth. Must have been what you were dissing me.
Most people are probably on vacation or getting ready for vacation by then, but AMC's board has a meeting. They discuss the deal with Antara. Discuss their liquidity moving forward. They outline the deal with Antara. The company would sell $110 million of apes to Antara at a blended price of 66 cents. Antara would purchase
hell of a deal
today for 58 cents a share on the company's at the money program and approximately 107 million shares in 30 days. Let's skim through some of that.
Okay. Yeah, skim through it.
Who clearly oppose this level of dilution of their shares. And this scheme...
That's in the second hour, probably, huh?
Even though apes traded at a fraction of the price of common stock. So the ape shareholders, or those who held ape, would have a strong financial incentive to vote for the conversion, which would theoretically bring up the price of ape, down the price of AMC common stock. All right, so on December 22nd, they announced these deal that they finalized on Antara. It's still on their website. You can go take a look if you want. We're going to skim through it for now.
Okay.
And then also on the December 8K, this is where they announced that they were seeking a special meeting of stockholders to solicit stock.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. This is Project Popcorn.
Court docs. This one's in a little bit of a different location, but this came out a little bit later.
Yeah, and this nonsense came out yesterday. So what are you saying, huh?
Unrestricted investments. All bets are off.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying
capacity?
What are you saying?
So we're talking about AMC debt capacity and investment capacity. So once again, if they mend the provision on these two L's, you could raise theoretically up to 2.2 billion investment capacity. So
That's a lot of popcorn.
This entire email displays that Ape was not the only solution, quote unquote. There are other options on the table to raise investment capacity, to raise liquidity if needed.
Okay, let's drop the needle.
By such non-voting apes proportionally with the votes cast for, against, or abstain. So they're auto votes without people's actual consent.
Let me go back.
Affirmative vote of at least a majority of the outstanding common stock. In the proxy, AMC disclosed that for the certificate proposals to carry, each requires the affirmative vote of at least a majority of the outstanding common stock, preferred stock voting together as one class. And they also disclosed that consistent with the deposit agreement, ComputerShare will vote the preferred stock by such non-voting apes proportionally with the votes cast for, against, or abstain. So they're auto votes without people's actual consent. And that was another way for them to rig the vote in the way they were aiming for.
To rig the vote.
14, 2023, AMC was trading at $4.50. Ape was at $2.34.
Damn. Decimated. Finish him.
So the common stock
What up, Beck?
were adversely affected by these actions. They were not provided the right to vote as a class. Their voting rights were reduced.
Oh, we went through all this. We went through all this stuff way back when. Yeah. Did they actually use the term fait accompli? Wow.
AMC board's actions in creating the ape class. Between creating economic incentives at play, arranging for ComputerShare to vote absentee and uninstructed apes on a proportion basis, and locking up defendant Antara's voting commitment, the AMC board essentially rigged the voting results and made sure the proposals they wanted to get through got through. And just to be clear, as of this moment, no third-party analysis has confirmed the actual votes that were submitted.
Why would they have to? Why should they?
There's no guarantee those results were even real despite all the vote rigging. There's been no third-party analysis to confirm that. Upon careful analysis, it becomes evident that AMC devised a cunning plan to convert all the maximum 5 billion ape units into AMC common stock, therefore subjecting AMC stock
Totally
to astronomical future.
predictable.
And we've talked about this earlier, so we're going to skip.
But you didn't have to continue holding them. That's what Sonny Korax is saying here. You didn't have to hold the stock throughout all of this. You didn't have to. This is all corporate bullshit, for lack of a better, just a technical term. It's all corporate bullshit. And you know, of course they're doing some malfeasance, not illegal malfeasance, but of course they're, you know, trying to game it so that they can make as much money.
Get through our last page.
Okay.
So on February 20, 2023, 2 class action lawsuits are filed against AMC board and former board members. Defendant, well, I shouldn't say defendant. It looks like, so there were 2 class action lawsuits filed at the same time, and they were merged together later. I mean, filed at the same time within an hour of each other, roughly. So that became the Delaware.
Okay. From this point, I'm gonna let it go to the end, I think.
this video is not gonna focus on really that much of what happened past that. We'll just give a brief summary for the record, and we'll be done in a few minutes. But essentially, this lawsuit gets filed a few weeks before the vote is finalized. They announced the vote in mid-March to finalize. Aaron announced that it passes. He misrepresents the percentage it passes, but they say it passes. And
because of this bad back, they knew
the reverse split and conversion.
Come April, it was going to be $5.2 million a share that they were looking at.
23.
Why wouldn't you hold?
So, case is that this video is mostly to focus on the exhibits that prove that all this AMC ape destruction was planned. And there are more exhibits that prove it as well, but I just wanted to highlight the biggest ones. But essentially, with this Delaware case, what happened is the plaintiffs were friendly with the AMC board. They helped push through a fraudulent settlement in the Delaware Chancery Court. The settlement...
Yeah, here we go.
The AMC board defendants. And the settlement pushed through reverse split and conversion. The settlement claimed to be valued in the millions, or hundreds of millions in some cases. That was a lie. They just gave back a small fraction of the shares they stole through the reverse split and conversion. I demonstrated the math to the court that the settlement giving back stolen shares provided no actual benefit to AMC shareholders. That prediction was correct. The AMC stock and market cap is much lower than it was.
So if you knew this was going to happen, sorry, I have to ask a question. I got to ask this question. I got to ask this question. If you knew it was going to happen and you were correct in your prediction even, then why did you sit there and hold your fucking shares throughout the whole thing? Doesn't that show something? I mean, it shows two things, at least. It shows that, yes, you were right. You knew that they were full of shit and that this would not be good for shareholders. And, you know, congratulations for that. Like, that's great. You knew it. But it also shows that you're a fucking dipshit who held through it. Why did you... You know, I just don't get it. Okay.
Offered the new shares back. The market just adjusted them down within seconds. That prediction...
No, I get it.
The Delaware Chancery Court did not care. Judge Morgan T. Zern was aware of the fraud implemented against AMC shareholders and allowed all this to happen, which makes Zern complicit in the fraud perpetrated against millions of AMC shareholders. All right. So
I'll take Keith O.
The evidence from...
I'll take Keith O. I would, you know, I'm really striving for more of a Steve Schmidt type vibe, but, you know, I'll take Keith. I'll take Keith. I'll take Keith. I'll take Dan Abrams. I'll even take Nancy Grace. I'll take Judge David Flesher. I'll take any of them. Thank you.
The AMC ape shareholder value was planned. The evidence shows that AMC board and its collaborators committed several crimes in order to make this happen. Some of the crimes include, but are not limited to, market manipulation, breach of fiduciary duty, and fraud. In terms of next steps, what can you do? First off, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment on the video.
Pull out your Bible. Pull out your Bible.
Share this video far and wide to make sure all AMC retail investors know. Spent a fair amount of time on this, getting this ready to show you the most prevalent incriminating exhibits in one place and where you can go to find them yourself. But there are many AMC shareholders who are still not really aware of how this worked, what actually happened. They're not.
Oh God, yes. They're not aware of the gaslighting.
They were stolen from intentionally.
Always leave out personal accountability.
And their collaborators. Third, what I would say is this. You can participate in the share account amcprojectpopcorn.com.
Oh, let's look at that next.
Legal representation to represent shareholders.
Another question, sorry. How many times have we heard we are working to hire legal representation? We're working on getting lawyers. We are going to get a lawyer. I swear to God, we're going to. We're going to get a lawyer. Don't make us get a lawyer. Yeah. No. Especially now. How are you going to afford that? What lawyer would even take any of this crap? And I've said this. You know, lawyers they're not really supposed to. They're not really allowed to. It's not really within their ethical purview to take cases that they know are invalid. They're not supposed to, allowed to ethically make a false argument in front of the court. So I have to wonder, you know, is that why? Is that possibly why? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would just be too big of a case. You know, we need Ed Masry here. You know, Erin Brockovich. Where's she at? Get. You know, attorney Ed Masry. Hey, he got the covalent hexavalent chromium or whatever the hell it was. He got that settlement. Like, if a lawyer were interested in this shit, they would have picked it up and something would have happened. Or, flip side, you can't get a fucking lawyer on a fake fucking case. Okay, anyway. They trying to collect $300,000 retainer on Twitter. It failed to get to even 10K. That's pretty sad, because you know who got more than that for something arguably less of a valid use of money? And I know I'm going to get some shit for this. Not from you guys, but motherfucking Houston Wade raised more than that for his fucking dog. His three-legged dog raised more money than these clowns were able to raise. Wow. That's something. Boom. All the time they talk about lawyers who they've talked to, but none of them have taken the case. Bullshit. I don't even know what it's at now. I'm afraid to fucking look, but I will.
Participate on the site. So it's for AMC retail shareholders who are victims of fraud, and the intention of this work and hiring legal representation is recovering what was stolen. All right, so just to close out this video, I want to leave you 2 final words of encouragement.
Get your Bibles out. Prayer time. Bow your heads.
Galatians 6:7. Whatever a man sows, this he will also reap.
Almost $20,000 fucking dollars.
5. And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten.
What is that supposed to mean? What is that crap supposed to mean?
That verse is a quote from Galatians 6:7. Whatever a man sows, this he will also reap.
Oh, that's rich. That is rich. So you're saying what? So let's you know what? I love Bible. The Bible has timeless wisdom in it. I'm not slamming the Bible. Don't think I'm doing that. Okay, but listen. Doesn't this imply that what happens to you is a result of your actions? Isn't that the implication here? Isn't the implication that if you sow some shitty fucking seeds that are diseased, you are not going to end up with fucking heirloom fucking tomatoes? And if you end up with beautiful, and I don't like tomatoes, but it was the first thing that came to mind. If you end up with the most beautiful strawberries in the world, doesn't that imply that you did something right? So how in the hell can you sit here and use this motherfucking quote? This goddamn fucking Bible quote of all things to somehow imply that it's not your own fucking responsibility. Get the fuck out of here, bro. For real. Holy shit. And I mean holy shit. Whatever a man sows, this he will also reap. A fantastic quote, right? One that instills the idea that, hey, we could say this any other way. What goes around comes around. You get back what you give. Or what happens to you, the circumstances in which you find yourself, largely are a result of your actions. And that doesn't always feel good. And it's not always easy to see. And it's fucking not always fair. It doesn't always work out like that. There are outside actors. There are outside influences. There are outside sources of strife and pain. Okay? But this is it. This is what I talked about at the beginning. Is this balance of rational mind, emotion, finding the middle path, making an honest effort. Even if you're wrong, if you make an honest effort. If you make an honest effort, you're not going to sit here and watch your money bleed out and then claim, oh, well, the Bible says I'm going to get... No! Okay, anyway. Oh, my dear fucking God. Okay, let's look at the next one here.
Second one, Joel 2:25. And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten.
Oh, so you're going to get those years back. And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. When? How? Does that come in the eternal life? Does that come in this life? I don't know. Boy, and it, God, it's so... So, yeah, it looks like they're on track. They're on track to 5.2 per. 5.2 per. Proverbs 26:11, like a dog that returns to his vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. Yes, okay. Yes, and and there's a lot of other ways this has been said. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It's not that far off. So yes, to sum up this whole meme stock saga, in short, the apes pissed in God's eye and he blinked. Ah! I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. But over on AMC stock, what they're saying is, look at all these updates from the Orta. Jesus. Okay. Up 1 cent, down 2 cents, up 3 cents, down 3 cents for weeks. Yeah. So much demand on the stock. It's, it's just caught right in the middle, isn't it? They. Can I run a search on this subreddit? I want to run there's a, I think it's called Social Grep or Search Reddit or something. And it's a good actual search that works on Reddit. I'm going to search this subreddit for they, see how many times it occurs. God. Jesus. It's called Common Sense. And your Commonwealth spelling. I like it. Breathe, damn it. No. These are the clowns playing around with an AED and shocking themselves to death. To quote Ferris Bueller, you're not dead. You just can't think of anything good to do. You're not dead. You just can't think of anything good to do. Anyway, AMC needs to renegotiate with the big studios. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I think AMC needs to renege with the studios. There's not enough big-time movie release and it hitting streaming services. It's hurting our theater. The 45-day window was fine when COVID was around and the streaming giants were launching, but that's past. Oh, is it? Is it? Really? Is it? Now people just rather wait a couple weeks and see it at home. But if they go back to like 3-4 months between release and stream, more people should start flocking back to the theaters. Brilliant. Brilliant analysis. So they poisoned their own well. They ruined their own industry. The big bad bear starting to experience the wrath of retail. Hold that goddamn line. Hold it. Ah! Pokemon reference. Got to squeeze them all. Okay. How? In what world are the bears the ones getting squeezed? I really would love to know this. In what world are the bears the ones getting squeezed? You know, I mean, come on. Come on. I got to take this price line off here because I can't even see. I can't even see what the hell this is. Take this price line off. There. There. Or put monthly. Put in a monthly price chart. Damn. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that is insane. Okay. There's a reason common sense was moved from a 1-point merit to a 4-point merit because OWOD and NWOD. It's because it isn't so common in real life. Well, yeah. I thought this was going to go into a well, anyway, it's more like, you know, I'm not going to. Hey, Chuck. The Chuck. 4 years later. And legitimately, it was because that video that we just watched came out 4 years ago. Now, maybe the Chuck is saying, amazing, we are still doing this 4 years later. But, hey, we're just going where we're following demand. We're just going where the action is. Oh, yeah. The Sunday football game thing, that happened back in 2021 even. NFL Sunday Ticket or something like that, or I forget what it was called. It was one of the ape ideas, I think, that was one of those great ideas that Adam Aaron solicited from the apes, you know, like, well, what should we do? You know, how do we make money? Because I don't know. Because I already tried to do what I did at Vail, and boy, it didn't work. I don't know. It didn't work. I got Vail into a bunch of, you know, we bought up all the competition and got into huge debt, and they survived, and they're doing great. They own all of Vail now. They own all the slopes, you know, and Vail, he should have stayed there. And he came to AMC and he started to try to do that, and he bought up every Carmike theater and every theater he could get his hands on. But it turns out, oh, you know what? Skiing is something that people actually like to do. It's something that has a future. It's an active hobby. It's an athletic event. It's a cultural event. It's a lifestyle event. It's a lifestyle hobby. It's a family hobby. And it's just damn cool. Turns out, oh, you know what? AMC movie theaters, not quite as exciting. Not quite as exciting. Oh, yeah. Then there was that mine, yeah, which was not an ape idea. I don't think anybody suggested to them that they buy an inactive, unproven mine, but they did. They did. And I used to have that marked on my chart here. I think I've removed all the... well, yeah, I don't have that particular chart anymore, but yeah. Anyway, God. So what's going on? What's going on with Wyckoff mining? I don't know. But we shall find out. Do they still own a lot of it? Oh, God. Okay. Hey, it looks like it's up this week, though. Oh, wow. Holy crap. It looks like... hey, you know what? You report shitty earnings and your price just goes up. Look at that. So since they had their earnings back on March 5th, Wyckoff Mining, Hycroft Mining, Wyckoff Mining, whatever you want to call it, well, it was up like 60%, 65%. Now it's only up 46%, 47 or so percent. But hey, how does this compare to AMC, though? Does it? Does it compare? Nothing compares to you, baby. Ooh, look at that. Negative correlation. What, especially on this day? What happened on that day? Wyckoff went way up and AMC went down. Ooh. Ooh. Anyway. I think we've beat that horse dead. Let's move on to AM games. Got to catch them all. I was told, well, we'll start out with this 240p video here. This great quality video. The title of this one is Mentally Ill Astronaut Reacts to GameStop Earnings. Totally normal behavior. Totally normal behavior. The only thing that is gonna come out of those Wyckoff mines, those Hycroft mines, is a bunch of radon. That's the only thing that's gonna come out of those mines. Chuck says, wouldn't it be the best option for AMC to file bankruptcy and restructure the debt? Maybe. I suspect that Adam Aaron probably would not have made out as well, which, you know, the insiders in the C-suite, the insiders, the board, they always know what to do to save themselves. So who knows? Oh, well, and of course, going along with that, of course, is absolutely this. They can't keep exploiting the shareholders if that's the case. So, yeah. Boom. Radon and gravel. So, anyway, moving back on to the mentally ill astronaut. See what he says. And we'll look at the GameStop earnings. Is GME operationally profitable yet? I'm going to guess by the inferred tone. The tone that I am inferring from this, if to the extent the tone can be inferred from text, I'm going to infer that the answer to this is a yes. But we'll find out. Yeah. And I'm going to, now that I got the chat thing figured out, when we go to the next, not this video, but the next video, I'm going to open up the, I'm going to see if anybody wants to come and voice chat with me and Lynn or anyone, and we'll see what happens. Okay. I'll do that in the next video, the next one, because this one's too short and it hurts my head to think about that audio routing. Okay.
Here is GameStop currently up right now, $26.62. It's going to the moon, boys. I already told you it's going to the moon. There's no stopping it. You know the numbers when they come out. GameStop that's going to the moon. You're already here. Thank you for
that's so much.
You know who you are. We're going. We're gone. It's out of here, baby. It's out of here. This is where we're at. Come get it from me. Wall Street, come take this. Come get it. We're out of here, baby. 26.30. We're breaking every resistance level right now. We're on our way. On the 1 hour chart, it's looking healthy. On the daily, we're going to be way up here somewhere, approaching the top of the triangle here. We break past these numbers here, it's over. If we can get to $28, it's over. Let's battle back a little bit. Relax, the numbers will come. It's here. When the numbers come, we'll break it down. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Cash, there it is, $4.77 billion. The numbers are out. EPS, 30 cents a share. Net income, $131 million. 131. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you the number. I told you the number. Oh my God. Let's fucking go. Let's go. You can't deny the truth. You can't handle the truth. Let me tell you something. When the world tells you that GameStop is not valuable, they tell you you can't make it in life. I want you to remind yourself, okay? You can do it. You can change this fucking world. Wake up every day, show up, do your job. Right now, my job is to tell you that GameStop is amazing.
Okay, I think he just... yeah, I think he's... Now, this is from the same, I think this is from the same stream. Yeah, this is...
Been with the show in the chat for over 4 years, but my man...
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And, you know, guys, just for everyone out there, if you ever lose sight of what we're actually doing, if you're ever falling off and you...
I've lost sight. I have lost sight for sure.
Is that big enough for you guys? Maybe I'm too big. I don't know.
Maybe I'm too big.
All right. Yeah. Hey, guys. I'm very excited. I'm so excited that I can't. I'm not like... I'm just thankful for all the love and support of the channel.
Oh.
There's no call, E. Andrade. You know, GameStop doesn't really do calls.
There's no earnings call. So it was so fucking great. These earnings were so great that the company will not be holding a conference call today. Sorry. Oh, what does that mean? Is that bad? Should I be worried about that? I don't know.
They do just a post, and then they'll do a call during the annual shareholders meeting, which will be next year.
Because that's what everybody wants. Yes. Hey, Rico, how much more would have GameStop pumped if Ryan fucking Cohen, could have been bothered to do a fucking investor call for the earnings? Huh? I wonder. You probably would have broken some more resistance levels. You might have even had multiples. Take that however you want.
I was wrong about Bitcoin. I said they probably bought Bitcoin in November 4th, right after that, because you saw. Oh, it's in the steel somewhere. Yeah, I don't think you guys understand. I don't care about Bitcoin. I wouldn't care if GameStop buys Bitcoin's underlying asset and Ryan understands that it's the next thing. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin, right? Like, do you guys understand this yet? Bitcoin, and it makes me happy. I'll tell you why it makes me happy. Because
why? Because it's going to go down?
Now,
because it's a scam?
So does GameStop. Like, there you go. We'll play this game, and it's perfect.
What a 2021 attitude. When Bitcoin goes up. Yes. Yes, of course. When Bitcoin goes up. Mm-hmm. Is it going up? I don't know. I don't know. What does he even care about? That's a great question. That is a great question. I think he cares about being right. I think that's one thing he cares about. He was pretty excited that how right he was. I told you. I told you. Come and get it, Wall Street. You can't handle the truth. I hit the number. We're going to see a lot of that. That's a common theme. Well, we've already seen a lot of that, to be honest. But I mean, even within the next, hour or so that we will all be here together tonight, we're going to see it again. That's foreshadowing, if you didn't know. We're going to see more of that. We're going to see a lot more of that. Okay?
If you're using Bitcoin to offset GameStop, like, do you understand what Ryan Cohen's doing? He's playing chess, not checkers. Right? Like, first he gets into a company like PSA that's actually owned by Steve Cohen and the boys. He said, you know what, you guys want me to fail? Well, I have a partnership with your own brand. We're either going to grow together or we're not. You know, you can't beat them.
That's not how it works.
Everybody's out here forever. Ryan has a meeting with Michael Saylor, and he says, you know what, I'm not selling mine. My value goes up with it or not. But this institution, this administration, said Bitcoin is the driving force of what they want to do on a reserve. Okay. Well, GameStop goes ahead and they grab something.
Did Moran support?
You know, I'm gonna.
This is a question for Manuel, I think, or whoever knows. Did Moran support the crypto thing? Like from the beginning, was he on board, or did he think that it was a bad idea before he found out that Ryan Cohen was doing it? That's what I'm wondering. Or did he just follow his little investment, billionaire boy wonder, and be like, well, I guess if Ryan Cohen thinks it's okay, if he thinks it's good. Oh, he started trading Dogecoin. Good God. Yeah, and that was, of course, the other thing that I'm glad that Badback mentioned here. Yes. Wait until Bitcoin is at or near all-time fucking highs, and then decide. Yeah, when did he start talking about this shit? Whenever, Michael Drunken Sailor, and I didn't think he was. I seem to remember him saying that, Ryan didn't say he was definitely going to do it. He just, blah, blah, blah. It's just something he's looking at. Guess what? Now he did it. Guess what? Now, when Bitcoin goes up, guess what, guys? GameStop goes up too. All right. Wow. Consistent inconsistency. Now he's pro it again. How the heck does he think GameStop's going to make any money? I was in one last week with my son, and it was just like it was back in 2020, and it was dead, only one employee. How many customers besides you and your son? Well, okay, that was an assumption I made. I'm not just going to assume that you were a customer. I'm not going to assume that you bought anything. But did you see any transactions taking place when you were in the store? That's what I guess I'm wondering. Did you see anybody pay money to GameStop when you were there? And how many other tire kickers were there? If that's what was going on. Jesus. Okay.
I'm going to break it all down for you right now, what we have here.
Break it down.
I'll go over all the theories in a minute. I just...
No theories.
They got rid of Italy and Germany. I told you they would.
What did he just do? What was that?
We'll go over all the theories in a minute. I just... They got rid of Italy.
What? How weird.
I told you they would. I want to...
Oh, all right. Let me get this. All right.
Did this update already? It hasn't updated their website, and the SEC hasn't filed. It takes time for it to load up, so I know that part. I do know that. So we'll wait.
Trying to sell a used tablet. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're having a drink. We're excited. Thank you guys so much. All right, so let's go over it. And I just want to thank all the new people to the channel. If you've never been here before, we do earnings review for GameStop over the last 4 years, and we've been here for a long time. We have a lot of videos, and you learn a lot about private equity and everything else they do. Okay, so the 8K is up. Perfect. Okay, so we'll go that route. Let me go in here. I don't want 10K or 10Q. I want... Can I do all? View all? Search. Well, let me see it. Right there, 8K. All right. Here we go. Okay, right here at the top. We're good. On March 25th, 2025, the company issued a request and investment policy and added Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset.
A treasury reserve asset.
So 99.2 is here. Open the tab. So we'll go here and announces Bitcoin treasury as an asset. That's it. Oh my God. They just, boom, there you go.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. Short and sweet. Oh, what a genius. Yeah, what a genius. Uh-huh.
All right, that's the one I have right now, right? Okay, well, we can go down and read this whole thing. Perfect. Okay, so first, net sales came in lower than everyone could imagine, at 1.2 billion.
Huh? No way.
So first, net sales came in lower than everyone could imagine, 1.2 billion, which is fine. It means they must have closed 700 stores.
Oh. Oh, okay. But didn't you say before it was good that they were closing the stores? They were cutting the fat, you know, that kind of thing. And I think we over here said, yeah, that's the sign of a healthy business. That's the sign of a fucking growing enterprise, is when you cut stores. Like, that's why... That's why when Kmart started closing all of its stores, for example, remember Kmart? I thought, well, hell, that's a company I want to buy. I want to be in on that. That's the way to do it. Of course, yeah, you save your company and you increase profits by cutting costs. Yes, that's how you do it. But when you have fewer places where people can give you money, what tends to happen? Well, you get less money. And isn't his local GameStop one of the ones that was closed? Anyway, yeah, anyway.
Perfect. Okay, so first, net sales came in lower than everyone could imagine, at 1.2 billion, which is fine. It means they must have closed 700 stores. Right? Okay, we're fine. So 1.2 billion.
No. You don't get to just gloss over that. I want to know what his prediction for the sales was, too. Net sales. Who gives a fuck about net fucking sales? All right? Anyway.
SG&A came in at 282, down from...
That's what they let off with. Okay, great.
3+ last year. Wow. In the previous fourth quarter. Yeah, look at this. Compared to 359. So they saved tons of money on SG&A, which is great.
Less than $100 million.
$1 million. Man, what are the margins? I want to know what the margin. They doubled their income from last year. Oh my God. And look at this. Doubled their income and less. I mean, they did less sales by a mile. Hey, let me apologize to Tetron Invest. He guessed way lower, Tetron. Good job, though, man. Okay, adjusted EBITDA, $96.5 million for the fourth quarter compared to 88 the previous.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Securities up to 4.775 billion at the close of the quarter.
Up? It doesn't say up. He added up. I don't know if it's up or not. Just saying, I don't know if that's up or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We're going to look.
Guys, they almost have 4.8 billion. And, oh, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of cash. Net sales were 3.8. They're down from there. That's fine. 3.8 is not that much. It's tiny. Perfect.
Oh, it's down. It's down. It's not down. Not that much. Yeah, like it's small. Yeah, that's what your wife says too. Okay. God, come on. Come on.
I like it small.
Pathetic. Gross.
$200 million. Perfect. Isn't it crazy how you get down this far on top line revenue, but yet you make way more cash? Isn't that wild? You make 131 versus the 67. You think these guys know? They don't know. The company will be holding a conference call today. Will not be holding a conference call. I was like, they will. Oh,
that's 131 compared to 6.7. Not 67, but whatever. Who cares? Just be off by an order of magnitude. It doesn't matter.
They can be found.
You know, the devil's not in the details. The devil is not in the details, clearly.
Adjusted EBITDA for the fiscal year 36.1 versus the 64. One-timers. Okay, so 36 added. Oh, they're going to come in at like $200 million next year. Nah, way more than that. Way more than that. Think about the interest they're going to make next year off of everything. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, this is going to be small. Can I make it bigger? I need to make this bigger for you guys. Is that better? I want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay, perfect. So, Cost of goods sold comes in at 919. Not bad. 363 is what's left over on gross profit minus the SG&A, puts you at 79.8. And you had operating earnings, boom, 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 boom. So it adds to it. Interest, yeah, that's your interest right there. That's your interest right there, 54.8. You add it on, there it is, and then your tax is $3 million.
Okay, so look at the cost of sales. Look at any of these lines. Look at the cost of sales. Lower. Look at the gross profit. Lower. Net interest income. 79 million. Okay.
Remember I told you they're coming in at 50 versus the 15, they're plus 35. They actually came in at another 5 on top of that. So plus 40. And then right here, operationally, oh, they don't make a profit operationally. Yeah, $80 million. Phenomenal. Dude, these guys are freaking masters. Not only are they 29.
I don't really think that he know. I'm not really sure. Okay. You know, let's just keep going. Well, they don't make a profit.
Cents per share versus 21. Remember that the 29 is based off of the bigger float of 140 million more shares. So look at this. Different. Exactly. Look at this. From 305 to 4.
Did I just hear what I think I heard?
21. Remember that.
Wait.
Phenomenal. Dude, these guys are freaking masters. Not only are they 29 cents per share.
They're masters. They're masters. They're masturbators. All of them. Masturbators. But listen to this narrative.
Dude, these guys are freaking masters. Not only are they 29 cents per share versus 21. Remember that the 29 is based off of the bigger float of 140.
The basic earnings per share. Remember, guys, this is based off of the larger float. Can anybody tell me what is wrong with that statement?
Dude, these guys.
That's rhetorical. That is a rhetorical question.
Masters. Not only are they 29 cents per share versus 21. Remember that the 29 is based off of the bigger float of 140 million more shares. So look at this. Different. Exactly. Look at this. From 305 to 447. That's massive, guys. 8 cents a share on the 140 additional plus the original 305. That's great. All right. So gross profit.
Yeah, that's so great. It's so great that I forget how division works. I think.
3. Oh my guys, margins are massive. That's the difference here. It's the cards. It's the damn collectibles. They're up 400 basis points on margin alone. I told you. That's crazy for the fourth quarter. The 28%.
Now, why would he say they're up 490 basis points? What a weasel. These guys love big numbers. You put a big number in front of these simple. Is this the definition of simp, by the way? I don't know. God, it's got to be close. Got to be close.
190 basis points on collectibles. They're up 490 basis points on margin.
Who says that? They're up 500. Well, 490 basis points. What are you talking about? Why? Oh, because you wanted to save 500. Rummy.
Alone. I told you. That's crazy for the fourth quarter. The 28%, that's like the 2017 numbers. This is awesome. Oh, I get so excited. And 22%, it should be 20, but 22% of SG&A. A little expensive. Maybe if they cut out the one-timers, yeah, you'll get that $50 million back. You'll be okay. All right, not bad. Not
What?
Oh, man. Net income, 10%. Wow.
The one-timers?
Wow. Shit, guys.
God.
Making money. You know, 10. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Wow, GameStop. Okay, let's go back. All right, so we're good there. We're good there.
I'm going to have to recommend
Okay.
acting classes for this guy. This is some of the worst fucking acting I've seen. Yes. So he's looking at the quarter. He's looking at the quarter. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Oh, man, they're masters. Oh, God. I want to suck Ryan Cohen's.
Okay, cool. Interest, look at the interest, 163. That number's going to be 200 something next year. That number right there, 163, is going to be 220 next year. Because the cash pile, because of everything they do. So look at this. If it's 220 next year, you're going to add an additional $40 million, $50 million to the bottom line. They're literally going to make 50 million plus whatever what they do this year, 131. So they went to 131, which is crazy, by the way. Wall Street only gets 30 million. So 131, they're going to make additional. So they're going to make 150, 180 million. But then you think about the profits because of the profit margin increase for quarter one. It's going to be amazing. So, bro, I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited right now, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I.
Shut up. Just shut up. Okay. I love this. Yeah. Yes. He's extrapolating holiday season onto the whole year like a retard. Number one. Number two, he's assuming that the company won't dilute or pull some more Bitcoin shenanigans or anything else, or close more stores or anything negative. Let's just extrapolate the gains. Only plus, no minus. Yeah, because that's how it works. Because even he would have, predicted that Ryan Cohen would have done this, obviously, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, my God.
I like it. Oh, my God. Next year is going to be even better. It's going to be even better.
Next year, let's kick the can down the fucking road a little bit fucking more, shall we? Yes. But, God.
Here. Look at the profit. Wow, gross profit, guys. 29.1 on margins, on cost of goods sold, on gross profit, the whole deal. Look at this. From 24.5 to 29. You sons of bitches. We're in a tariff inflationary, scary time, whatever. You guys are all talking about supply chain shortages. You guys are talking about
what?
I told you. It's all about spoils. It's about allowances. It's about negotiating. It's about buying power. GameStop has it all. Oh, my God. 29%.
No, it's about private equity, bro. About private equity. So let's shift gears. This may be a bit of a downshift, but let's pop over to lottery stocks. Lottery stocks. Remember this guy? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what he has to say about GameStop x Bitcoin. GameStop times Bitcoin. Infinity squeeze. Yeah. Bull run, you got to use the correct terminology. They're X's now. Or something. No. Anyway. We got another one. Listen. He was, listen.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on with GameStop earnings. They just announced a Bitcoin Treasury Reserve asset.
Spot on.
Huge news for GameStop. I'm sure, obviously, this video is going up a little bit later than usual. Everyone's seen it, but I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff here. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. First things first, GameStop was up 16% today. Last night,
Woo!
It's almost obvious we have the writing on the wall that GameStop is going to announce a Bitcoin investment.
He said the O word. He said the O word.
Factual time and time again, video after video, that this is obvious that this is going to happen, and that is exactly.
He was right. We should have listened to him. We would have made a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money. Come to my seminar.
We got. Now, I also said this first range, we got a gap over, we built a base off of it, and instead of climbing to the second range that we had drawn out on the charts, you can go look at the recent videos. I didn't touch the charts at all. In fact, I just pulled it up. We built a base on top of the next one. We gapped over it, wicked into it, and are building a candle above it, above this level, above.
Yes, because that's what you want. You want it to gap up like that. That's a sign. That's a good sign, bro. It's a good sign, bro. And the O word is obvious. It's obvious. That's the O word. Although, you know, yes, but, you know, like maybe he'll show us his O face too. Maybe. We got to see, and we got to hear Morantz with his O face. Maybe we'll get to see Brandon's or whatever this guy's name is.
Above $28, and the bottom of it being at $27.40, $27.45. This shows a lot of buyers.
Just me, or does it say, like, it looked like it says lottery sucks up there. Lottery sucks, or lottery stinks, or lottery sticks. I'm not getting an O out of that. I don't know. Anyway.
Are interested in GameStop. Now, very brief rundown. Revenue, the company reported net sales of $1.28 billion, which is a 28% decrease from the previous year's $1.9 billion.
Well, it's almost like they closed 700 stores.
The analysts' expectations of $1.48 billion. Okay, so they lost a little bit on their net sales. Now, a lot of people are jumping in, FOMOing into GameStop, and big people, and we're going to talk about it. And so that was their revenue update.
Yeah, it's been a
revenue by 28%.
Hey, at least he's in 60 FPS.
Decline.
At least he's in 60. You know, he's in 60 frames. What? Why? Why are you in 60 frames per second? I mean, you might as well be in. Jesus fucking Christ. Really? I don't even get the 30 FPS option. Why are you running in 60 frames per second with a blown out image of yourself on here and a freaking screen? It'd be like if I broadcasted in 60 frames. Would there be a point? Come on.
GameStop,
you're wasting band. Okay, anyway.
A net income of $31.
I just can't take it.
$1 million, up from $63.1 million in the same quarter from the prior year. So earnings per share was 29 cents per share, surpassing analyst forecasts of 8 cents per share. Also pretty huge. And then obviously their Bitcoin announcement. In a strategic move to diversify its assets, GameStop's board approved an update to its investment policy to include Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. This decision allows the company to invest a portion of its cash or future debt and equity issuances into Bitcoin with no specified maximum limit on acquisitions. GameStop joins other companies such as Strategy, Coinbase, and Tesla in integrating Bitcoin into their financial strategies. First of all, there is no limit as to how much Bitcoin GameStop can purchase. Given, right, for example, they can purchase
and that's a good thing.
$4 billion.
That's a good thing.
Of Bitcoin. There's no maximum. Secondly, their board vote on this was unanimous. All of them voted we should buy Bitcoin. We saw the pictures with MicroStrategy, and MicroStrategy did comment on this. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But this is big news. Strategy, Coinbase, Tesla, all these major companies buying into Bitcoin. And I think it's just the beginning, because this is going to
good freaking idea.
It's going to force other companies to do the same thing.
Oh my God.
That's early on, and I don't think there's a bear thesis anymore for game.
You don't? You don't think there's a bear thesis for GameStop? Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
GameStop. So
by the way, not everybody shares this opinion, and I'm not just talking about me, but we're going to get to that.
Say goodbye to the short sellers. Now, also, a shout out to Paul over on X. I was looking over the GameStop annual report this morning while eating breakfast, and I noticed they also just revised their insider trading policy for the first time since 2019. Now, this is very interesting because the change is that executive officers and directors of the company are now permitted to pledge up to 50% of their company securities as collateral for a loan or investment. Why is that so important? Read that again. Executive officers and directors of the company are now permitted to pledge up to 50% of their company securities as collateral for a loan or an investment. This is a Bitcoin flywheel. There is going to be more and more and more investments into Bitcoin, and that's exactly why we recently saw, remember, there will be signs, why we recently saw Ryan Cohen change his shares from his LLC into his own name. That's exactly why. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly why, because it's in the best interest of the company to do so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Company's running on gimmicks. The company is running on gimmicks, being run by a hack. I mean, so they can get away without paying taxes, so they can sell and get them without getting taxed, and now borrow against it tax-free. Of course, it's what's in Ryan Cohen's best interest. And I'll use the O word here. Obviously, it's in his best interest, because at the end of the day, we're all individual fucking investors looking out for our own selves, including dudes like Ryan Cohen, and yes, like Elon Musk.
With this news, Josh, man, I recently made a video on the $380 million Bitcoin short. And then I also made a recent video.
He's getting a divorce.
That's somebody.
What?
And it's from Josh, man, a former Wall Street trader who predicted back in November Bitcoin's price close on Pi Day, March 14th, I believe, or something along the lines of that, the exact close price. And he now comes out and he purchased GameStop. I'm going to show you.
Oh.
Enough to admit to this, it will drive me crazy if I manage to whittle away at my goals trading MSTR and MSTR options.
Get the fuck out of here.
More months, only to see a crazy cat lover come back and run this GME thing back up to the flagpole. It is literally the definition of FOMO. I am human. If there's going to be some moonshot on GameStop, at least it will be a Bitcoin thing, so I'm in for a penny or two. So he said.
Oh, okay. So you got some guy on Twitter named Josh Man. Josh Mandel. 6. That doesn't sound like a bot or anything like that. Just saying. It doesn't sound like, But he's a former, what does it say here? Bond portfolio analysis government desk, long bond trader, derivatives, short dated options trading head, Paxton Associate hedge fund. So you have a hedgie, essentially, coming out and saying, "Oh, I'm FOMOing in because I believe in Bitcoin." Okay.
Says he's FOMOing into GameStop, but he also says GameStop could act as MicroStrategy and actually bring the momentum, more momentum than MicroStrategy, because of Roaring Kitty and their Bitcoin investment. And he said that, yes, I have been trading MicroStrategy and making money on it, but I would be devastated if GameStop has more of the upside potential than MicroStrategy in this same space. And you can see right here, and these were his actual first positions. He said, "I'm not proud of it, but I got to live with myself, and I just cannot let this happen without me." New trades below. GameStop, June, call options, and then Class A common stock right here, short term. This is beautiful. Okay, he bought a lot. He bought a lot of GameStop, and this was his first position. I want to go on to state that he did buy more. But first, BitPain over on X started posting about it as well. Never underestimate the degeneracy of GameStop investors. They make crypto traders look like index fund maxing, booming.
And this is a good thing.
What did he quote?
And this is a good thing. I'm assuming that they mean to say here. This is supposedly a good thing, I guess. I don't know. It's good. It's good. Degeneracy is real. And it's good. Never underestimate it.
He quoted, "What's the minimum amount of Bitcoin GameStop needs to buy to be respected by Bitcoiners?" Right? This was tweeted by Michael Saylor. What does that mean? Michael Saylor met with Ryan Cohen. Is he going to give
They're prepping for this strategic reserve
interest rate to purchase Bitcoin? Or either way, you see a partnership, right? You see a partnership.
They went in on that.
Back to the Josh Man thing, right? He says, "Okay, I think I am situated for now. I am 2 million today. I am in 2 million today on MS."
Jesus Christ.
GameStop position. Never thought I would type that. Giving me exposure to 100,000 shares.
So basically the only reason he's buying GameStop is because he believes in Bitcoin or MicroStrategy, which is also fucking retarded. But yeah, so he wants a piece of the GameStop too. So you got a fucking greedy motherfucker here. Look at this asshole. Look at this shit. Look at this fucking simp. God damn. Like, even if this is real, this is fucking pathetic. And this is the kind of fucking bullshit that I, again, talked about in that introduction when we started this stream. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, this is the kind of unverified garbage. It's unverified. It's potentially fraudulent. Even if it is real, who cares? Like, oh, I'm going to put right in my bio that I'm an ex-Goldman Sachs guy, and I'm a, Caxton hedge fund, blah, 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 this or that, this, blah, whatever. All these fancy terms that you don't understand. Government bond trader, head, top trader, whatever, blah, blah, blah. What a fucking pumper, shill, bitch, cocksucker. Or, just to keep it clean. Jesus.
While experiencing
fuck.
Losses, you must understand that I do not possess a predictive ticker tape with tomorrow's prices. Losses are possible if you copy trade me, yada, 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 and have some logic. He says he has some logic, but this isn't pure FOMO, all this other stuff. So he is in deep on MSTR calls as well as games.
And
it's like a lot of MSTR.
The difference between this clown and this, the difference between the clowns here, this clown and this clown here, Josh Man and Boy Man here, the difference between these two clowns is assuming that Josh Mandel is a real person and he's who he says he is and it's on the up and up, assuming those things are true, this guy obviously has some fucking money to play with. Who in the fucking right mind from the ape community even has the resources to copy trade this guy? Why would... Oh, God. It's so disingenuous. It's so disingenuous. I like... Oh, my God. Okay. GME is no longer a retail store, and there's some kind of Bitcoin ETF. I am lost how this makes GME holders money. They would have been better off to buy... Maybe... They would have been better off to buy NVIDIA stock last year or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's what he should have done. I'm surprised that he didn't realize that AI was the future, that it's literally everything. It's kind of odd. And the beauty is that they have found a group of stockholders that are willing to continue to dump money into this that don't ask that question. They don't ask that question. They don't ask that question.
Or leaps, and then some GameStop leaps as well, worth about $256,000 worth. And then he has shares 587,000, and then June 20th call options worth almost 300,000. So that is huge. And then the Bitcoin therapist. Now, if you guys don't know this guy, he has 206,000 almost followers over on.
Wow. Okay. Well, why did you have to say that? Why did you have to try to impress me with his follower numbers? He has 250,000 crypto bros following him. Cool. Yeah. Uh-huh. Right.
On X, why I am buying Bitcoin. Clear Bitcoin treasury strategy. Ryan Cohen's track record. 4 billion sitting in cash. Actually, almost 5. Die-hard holder base. Signal to other companies, potential for outsized returns, possible rebranding, and business model change / transformation. This is huge. This is FOMO kicking in at its finest. He also said, remember when I said MicroStrategy?
FOMO at its finest?
rally of all time. I was wrong. It's going to be GameStop. And that brings me
Oh my God.
really quick. This guy, Ricky Gutnez, or however you pronounce it over on YouTube, he's a trader. He's a good guy. I got nothing against him.
Ricky Gutierrez? Gutierrez. I think he means Ricky Gutierrez.
But people like this are shorting game.
It's a foreign name. It's hard to say. What do you say? What do you call it?
This guy, Ricky Gutnez, or however you pronounce it over on YouTube.
Ricky Gutnez. How about that one, Manuel? Jesus fuck. Ricky Gutierrez. I'm pretty sure that's what he means.
He's a trader. He's a good.
It's a foreign word. It's hard to say. What can you say?
But people like this are shorting GameStop, saying it's a shit company, and they are bringing this bear thesis around like MicroStrategy. But I'm gonna
Gutierrez.
see really quick. I was gonna save this for a little bit later. No problem with his position or the guy, whatever. He can do whatever he wants. He's a trader. That's perfectly fine. But look at MicroStrategy back in 2021. Okay, when they were accumulating a lot, it played out this exact pattern and then collapsed, and then it played out the same exact pattern, and then right here,
It doesn't play out the same pattern. God. Can we just go back to having a list of prices instead of visually representing it? You know, where you actually have to think about what is being represented instead of a squiggly line or these goofy boxes, red and green boxes on the screen that make it so easy for these fucking geniuses to sit here and say, "Oh, look, it's playing out the same exact pattern." It's playing out the same pattern, but if I were to show you a moving average or a VWAP, it would go right through the middle of there. Get a fucking clue, bro. Get a fucking clue.
higher into a new leg up.
God.
Once again, same exact pattern.
It's playing out the same pattern. It's playing out the same pattern.
And you can see right here, it almost repeats it, right? Coming up right here before a potential super cycle up to who knows what. And
I'm in.
Or I think GameStop is going
You
to.
need a keyboard player? I'm there, Lynn. I'm in. I'm in, Lynn. Yes, I'll bring my Farfisa and my Rhodes. I don't have a Farfisa or a Rhodes anymore, but I'll bring my electronic keyboard and my computer. Squiggly line in the goofy boxes.
To do the same thing. Now, Jim Cramer also commented, GameStop is finally doing my Bitcoin ploy. Ryan Cohen responded, no, with the laughing faces. He's trying to take credit. But where I can give credit is the Simpsons were right again. This is interesting because we saw...
Oh, they...
Back and I don't
Yeah, the Simpsons were right. GME plus 1 trillion. Bitcoin infinity. Yes, they were right. They nailed those numbers. What'd you say at the beginning? Spot on. Spot on. Spot on. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Because they have been right about a lot of things. But Bitcoin infinity, GameStop 1 trillion. It's a never-ending...
They're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. Get it? Yes. They're making fun of you with this shit. Don't you see that? Don't you see that? Exactly. Exactly. Boom. Right there. And so I feel, thank you. I feel vindicated. It was not just I. Huh? It was not just I who realized this is making fun of you guys. It's not a prediction. Maybe it's a prediction of what they think your predictions are going to be. It's a prediction of a prediction. But in any way, it was made in any case, it was made in jest because it's a fucking TV show. Wow. Okay.
Simpsons predicted it again.
Wait. Hold on. Why does it say GME minus 2 trillion over here? Why didn't he? I just noticed that. It says Bitcoin infinity, GME plus 1 trillion, Fox minus 19. GME minus 2 trillion. Am I the only one who sees this? Yeah. Okay, that is funny.
I mean, it's a never.
Jesus Christ.
Predicted it again. And then another little bit of tin for you guys. The last 3 Roaring Kitty posts were on Wednesdays, with 2 at 8 p.m. ET. If he tweets tonight, he's going to break the internet. This is just a little bit of tin, a little bit of hype, a little bit of hopium, but GameStop is still up 16%. Michael Saylor.
Look, 2 goons, 2 ghouls.
And then tagged Ryan Cohen and GameStop as well. All huge to say the least. Fidelity just bought another $83 million worth of Bitcoin. People are loading up on Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Rising wedge. I don't have a price update for you.
Everybody's buying it.
A lot of stuff to talk
Better buy it too.
And posted a continuous influx of new pipeline Bitcoin buyers. And GameStop, SBR, so on and so on, is precisely the type of development.
It is pointless.
A super cycle. And this brings me into the point.
A super cycle. I thought he was going to say a squeeze. A squeeze. Instead, we got the other S word, cycle, or C, the other S sounding word. Psych.
Price updates, but superseding prices on Bitcoin supersedes prices on GameStop, which supersedes prices on Bitcoin, with so on and so on and so on and so on and so on.
Huh?
You get
what?
You get what I'm saying here? A super cycle for Bitcoin means a super cycle.
I don't think he understands what supersedes means either, to be honest.
For GameStop, in my personal opinion, so on and so on. Also, this could also lead GameStop to announce a potential dividend, which could...
Oh, a dividend?
I don't know how deep into it you want to look, but I used to look into this a while.
A dividend.
Which could potentially...
That's a new one. I haven't heard this one yet. A dividend. That's a joke, sort of, because it's not the first time we've heard it. But we're hearing it again. That's the super cycle. And if you were wondering, the super cycle it's the grift cycle. Yes. Stealing AMC talking points. Also part of that same playbook. But yes. It's time for the dividend talk, I guess. That catalyst is back up. It's back. It's your turn. It's your turn, dividend. Come on, don't let me down.
Short sellers, force them to close.
GME coin to the moon.
Short, so on and so on and so on. So we have all these possibilities.
Got to throw in exposing the naked shorts. You got to hit all the buzzwords in order for this to be a bona fide meme stock video.
That I noticed, and you've noticed it too. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at AMC. Look at Black.
Shit.
Look at these squeeze plays, right?
BlackBerry.
Did the unthinkable.
Squeeze plays. You tell me how these are... Okay.
Has separated itself from AMC. I never thought you'd see the day, and I didn't assume you'd see the day. I assume you would have at least seen a little bit of sympathy because they're ran on algorithms. But something is changing. Some sort of dynamic is changing because GameStop is still up about 11% and AMC's down 1%. Some type of dynamic is... And that dynamic might just be as simple...
Is it the Bitcoin?
Waiting a little bit and then following. Okay, that's
sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Right. I don't want to put
yeah.
But I just found that very interesting. I believe Chewy reports earnings tonight. Yeah, Wednesday, March 26th in 2025. I believe they report after hours, but I could be
I don't know.
wrong on
I
that.
don't really
Maybe
think
they
that's
already
the
reported,
case.
but keep an eye on
I don't
Chewy.
really think that's
Tesla.
the case.
I told you got rejected off of this trend line. We're going to talk about the SPY really quick, but I just wanted to say that the Financial Times issued an apology after suggesting that Tesla had shady accounting with $1.4 billion missing. Again, just another miswritten article, quote unquote miswritten, right? Tesla's
miswritten. Hey, don't. No, that's a miswritten article. What are you doing? That's miswritten. Miswritten. Uh-huh.
Accounting with $1.4 billion missing. Again, just another miswritten article, quote unquote miswritten, right?
Miswritten.
We need to see if it breaks out here. Right now, it is.
Oh, yeah, because, everybody's out to kill Tesla. I don't understand why. They're burning down Teslas. They're burning down dealerships. They're shooting. They're killing Tesla employees. I don't know what they're doing. But, yeah, that's it. That's it. We do need to launch the Alcon coin. That does need to be a thing. And why not? Everybody else is doing it. Let's do it too. Fuck it. We won't get arrested. These guys don't get arrested for their malfeasance. Speaking of malfeasance, we got to check in on our boy Donnie Who. Donnie Who? Donnie Who? Donnie Donahue George.
Still holding 270.
He's still out there?
Don't see a trade yet.
Is he still wearing his walking shirt?
Now, Bank of Japan to keep raising interest rates of economy.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. I don't need you to talk about macroeconomics, okay? They're eating the lithium batteries. They're eating the cats. Yeah, and that happened right here in good old Ohio. Beautiful river, Ohio. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Get some free stonks. Sign up for Moo Moo. Yes, Moo Moo, Moo Moo, Moo Moo, Moo Moo.
Just over, it's free money, and if you owe for taxes or whatever, get these stocks and you can possibly sell them if you want. Completely up to you. I can't tell you what the buy holders sell, and then you can use that to pay off some of your taxes. So
I might have to do that.
That is it, guys. That's free money. Check the top 2 links in the description.
Free money. I like free money. I like money.
And then check the third links for fundamental analysis, the #1 tool in my opinion for any stocks. They just updated the site as well. My custom indicators down.
Well, can we look at that? What's this? Lottery stocks coin? Wait, no, this one right here. 1,000. What's this? I've never seen this. 1000X stocks application. Wait, this is his platform? 8.1% APY. Hey, that's good, man. Moo Moo has options. Yeah, Moo Moo has options. But if I remember correctly, they are like Webull in that they don't give you, you have to pay for live option pricing, which makes it pretty much useless unless you use another application to actually find out, unless you use another platform to get the current market price. You're looking at prices that are 15 minutes old, and we know there's one thing, if there's anything about option prices, it's that they're constantly changing, and that you can win or you can gain or lose an entire fortune in way less than 15 fucking minutes. I mean, am I right, Bad Back? I mean, can the church say amen on that? So I'm pretty sure that you have to pay for real-time data on there, which is hilarious because you can literally open a TD Ameritrade account or a Fidelity account and download their platforms and use them without funding your account and get live option pricing. So that's a difference between real brokerages and apps. Real brokerages, or at least, if they were real brokerages at one time. But, I mean, both of which I believe, well, at least Fidelity for sure, but I don't know about TD Ameritrade, but you can route your trades where you want to. You can go non-payment for order flow, I believe. But anyway, the difference between a real brokerage and a scam, in my opinion, a foreign-owned platform like Webull or Moo Moo, these Chinese-owned company trading apps. I'm not going to call them brokerages. There's not anything. There's no brokerage there. They're nickel and diming you on that shit. And I do have to say, okay, I have used TradingView for stock prices. I think a lot of people use TradingView, and I used to be a premium subscriber to TradingView back in the days when I was trading more, not working, and of course now working and not trading more, or trading less, I should say. I recently kind of started pulling back some of the charts up during the day and looking at prices and stuff, and noticing that TradingView is really slow. I mean, it's actually, honestly, and I don't remember if it was like this when I was a premium subscriber to TradingView or not. So if anybody is, they can tell me. And by the way, yes, this is not a paid sponsorship, nor is it a paid bashing session. This is just opinion, my opinion. based on my experience. So take it or leave it. But I'm just saying TradingView is laggy. It's so laggy, and I'm talking several seconds off. Even between this, the price being displayed here, and where the candle is, like right now, it's not in sync. It's not synchronized. Now it's synchronized, okay? 81, 60, it's not synchronized. It's still at 81, 87. Now this is at 81. Now this is at 87. Now this is at 61. Now this is back up to 13, maybe 913. This is still at 692.30. This is unacceptable to me. This is absolutely fucking shit, if you ask me. What am I supposed to look at? Am I supposed to look at the price? Am I supposed to look at the candle? Am I supposed to look at this? Am I supposed to look over here? Because I've got 3 different fucking prices showing here at some times. At least 2. 2 different prices. Right now it's in sync. Back out of sync. Now it's back in sync. 17. Now it's out. You see what I'm saying? I'm just bringing this up to say Webull is actually better than this. The Webull charts are snappier. They're more responsive. And they're more in sync with themselves. So I don't use Webull to trade at all. But I do have it open. And I've been using it for the charts. And I know I've slammed people for using Webull charts in the past. So I'm not apologizing for that. Because what they were saying about what the Webull chart was saying was some complete bullshit. Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you just look at this, I mean, we can see it right here. 14. Okay, now they're all in sync. 65. Still at 14. We had 3 different prices showing up there. I don't like that. I do not like that. So basically, what I'm saying is, Webull and Moo, etc., want to exploit us and make us the product to sell to the actual broker dealers, the wholesalers, the Citadels, the Apex, the Sigma 5, whoever. And I'm saying, fuck all that. I'm gonna just use it for what it is. And as far as I'm concerned, if there is to be a free, quote unquote, free platform or website application that gives you pricing, it should be at least accurate. I don't like how TradingView, I don't like it. And I like I said, that's why I can't remember when I did pay for TradingView. I don't remember what it was like because I was only using TradingView. So that's my fault. I assumed that it was, maybe it was, and maybe it was. Maybe I was paying for faster service then. I don't remember. I know I was paying so that I could have more than 2 indicators on. Which is another. That's the scam on TradingView. Oh, you can only put on 3 indicators, 2 indicators, however many it is. Oh, I want to put on what? I want to put on MACD, and I want to put on a linear regression channel. And oh, you know what? Let's also throw on the Ichimoku. Oh, nope, I can't do it. Nope, pay us money. Your rent's due, Scott. Your rent's late. Fuck you with your fucking bullshit. So I'm pretty much done with TradingView. I use it off hours, but if I'm actually going to trade something, I don't use this crap. I don't like that. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's because I'm an amateur and I don't know what I'm doing, which is absolutely true. But as far as I'm concerned, why isn't this synchronized? I mean, Webull's coming from China. It's coming from all the way from China, and it's synchronized. TradingView, nah, I don't like it. Okay, anyway, so this is his application here. Oh my God. How much does it cost? Apply? What? Whoa. you see what I see? Oh my God. Wow. I mean, I know followers of strongman personal finance who I'm not going to comment on right now because I've seen mixed things come out of his channel. It's okay. There's a lot of mixed shit coming out of my channel. But anybody who's seen this channel before, that channel, would know who this is. This is one of your bigger grifters here, from a little channel that I like to call Financial Education. That's actually what he likes to call it. I mean, bro, you are not going to get me to watch a 30-minute video of warning. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. But if you were to put in here strongman as well, and if I could spell, you know, here's strongman personal finance. Jeremy LaFraud is lying to you about honest stock. I'm guessing it's like the Honest Tea Company or something. That's Meet Kevin. 1000x stonks. So he talked about it in a stream 5 months ago. Anyway, so it looks like, I guess, it looks like this guy, lottery stocks is somehow associated with, because look, this says lottery, this is an image up here. This is on the page. Lottery stocks invites you to, so they have some kind of deal. Yeah, not surprising. Okay. Anyway. Bull Run. Do you subscribe for real-time option quotes, or do you use Fidelity or another platform to get your option pricing and then just do the order entry in Webull? Question for you there, because I've done that before, but it was tough because it was really tough because going back and forth, and you know, I mean, if you set a limit order, you know, but you got to know where you are at the time. So I'm just curious how you do that. Question for you on that. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. Another one. It's another one. Data zero. Data zero. Data zero. Data zero. Data zero. Data zero. Or as we can just shorten it to zero data. Let's see what he says. I haven't watched this one yet. Haven't watched this one. Fidelity for the real prices of the Webull trades. Okay, that's what yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you can do it, right? It's just a little, I mean, I don't know. I found it to be a little bit annoying, but I guess you have 2 screens, 3 screens, it will be fine. Okay. Moon market drive-by. Okay, we'll do that too. Okay, let's go. Data zero. Data zero. Data zero.
But I just want to see some craziness with the views when we get the Moassers. Whoa, what's going on? What the fuck is this?
Okay, so let me just pop in here real quick, and I'm going to go back because that was a great reaction. Great reaction. This is data zero. Reacting to today's action post-market on GameStop, I believe. So this is from the 26th, i.e. today. And of course, what happened today, aftermarket was not what happened yesterday aftermarket. So, and if anybody needs a reminder of that, we'll go ahead and use the crappy TV chart. By the way, did you guys know that TradingView has options data too now? It's not worth anything. It's worthless, but it's as worthless as those calls that we, that expire worthless. And it begs the question, don't we all expire worthless in the end? But anyway, this is useless, and I don't even think it's correct. I don't even believe this. I don't even believe this. They have no volume data. They have no OI. I don't know what's going on here. But I compared this to what I was looking at in other platforms, and it was wildly different. Of course, it's also not real time, but they do have it now, and they have this volatility curve and IV term structure stuff over here too. Whatever. Anyway, Trey lives on, and we gotta, yeah. Okay. Let's get back to that. Awesome reaction.
When we get the
I'm gonna go back a little more because they caught me by surprise.
we can really see some craziness with views.
So he says, hopefully we get a MOAS because then we get some craziness with views. We need more views, more views, more views, more views, more views. Because more views, why? More views is more money. Because why? Because that's how you make your money. Not by trading, not by selling stuff, by selling, snake oil on YouTube. Look at all these comments. Is he paying? Is he getting paid comments? Look at this. Don't sell your AWS 65G. Keep them on lock. Thank you for the AW65G. It's all bot, spam, garbage. Every single one. Every single one. Every single one is an AWS 65G spam comment. And my question is this on purpose? Did he do this to boost his engagement stats on YouTube? I don't know. If so, that'd be a shitty fucking way to do it. That would be a fucking terrible ploy. I mean, surely you could get... My name's not Shirley. Surely you could get a better variety of bot comments than that. Oh, I know it's bots. I'm wondering why. Is it his doing? Because even though they're bot comments, it still counts. It still counts as engagement. So anyway, let's continue. Let's roll through it here.
What you guys do with the chats, that's up to you. I don't know. But I just want to see some craziness with the views when we get the MOASers. Whoa, what's going on? What the fuck is this?
It is the realization.
For no reason.
Oh, come on, Clyde. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. You just don't know it. Clearly, you weren't paying attention. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Why are we dumping for no reason? What news? This is just some straight short fuckery. Straight short.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's only...
One day, can they? Huh?
They did let you have one day.
Buckle up, fam. Buckle up, fam. Buckle up, fam. Buckle up.
Buckle up, fam. Buckle up, fam. Buckle up, fam. See, if you repeat something enough, it becomes true.
Short fuckery. Ain't nothing
that guy's not even in the Discord.
Nothing in between. Nothing in between.
That guy's not even in the Discord.
You can't fill the gap in after hours. It will fill the gap, but you can't fill the gap in after hours. There's no reason why GameStop should be dumping 6% randomly. That doesn't even make any sense.
None randomly. Yeah, random. Doesn't make sense.
And that's why they're doing it now.
Let me ask you this here, okay? Let me ask you this, bruh. Was there a reason for it to be pumped the day before? What was the reasoning for that? Would you say that there was no reason for that? Because I would say that there was no valid reason for that. That's what I would say. And now, right now, you're sitting at a level that I believe is about 4% higher than it was yesterday. I'm sorry. That's at the end of the day. At the end of the day yesterday, before the pump. So I'm saying net. Okay, let's grab it from down here. Net right now, yeah, 4%. You're 4% up. So you were up from yesterday's close. You know, as much as, and I'm just. It's on Snap, so whatever. You were up, you know, as much as 17%. You closed up 11%, which is over here, right? But now you're up 4%. Yeah, that's okay. You know that okay. That's we're working it out. We're working it out. Let's see what he says.
After hours, because they can manipulate you. And that's why they're doing it in after hours, because they can manipulate easier in after hours.
Yeah, that's the only reason, bro. Again, I say, I'm not even going to dispute what he said. I'm not even going to dispute it. Because look at what happened yesterday. They manipulated you yesterday, too. It was just happened to be the opposite direction. They can do it on low volume. Okay. Although it was higher volume. It was higher volume yesterday. Today, it's lower volume. Interesting. Okay.
See, guys, you have to understand, shorts are underwater at $30, $35. So they're getting desperate right now.
How do you know that? How does he know that?
Also, there's no shorts. There's no no, there's no news. There's no news. There's no news, bro. There's no news. It's just straight up short fuckery. Nothing short of it.
No news.
Down 7% in after hours. That's insanity.
Is it? Is it? Is it really? Well, he got that much right. He got that much right. Look at this. He's over on Chart Exchange looking at the options data. Let me go back. So he's trying to see if there's short, because he was saying there's no shorts. He started saying there's no, remember? He started saying there's no shorts. I mean, and what I think he was going to say, because of where he went next, was that there was no shares available to borrow. Let's see if that's what he meant. I mean, I would prefer actual mall music to whatever garbage he's playing. All I can say is I hope it's royalty free. So if I get dinged on copyright on this, I'm going to be pissed. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to be pissed about it. Like I did on that one with that one clown playing bullshit. If I play the copyright material, I'll take it. Okay, I understand. But when I'm doing fair use criticism on another channel and you ding me for copyright, that's when I say, Google, you fucking suck. Like, I get it. It's algorithmically detected. But I'm sorry. It's a fair use criticism. Stop fucking flagging me.
Now, it will fill the gap, but it will create a gap to the upside.
Oh.
Once the market opens and create a gap to the upside. If it stays down this low. I don't even think it's going to stay down this low, but we'll see what happens here. It has to be dilution. That's what it'd have to be, dilution. I knew it. Fuck. I was.
So it turns out that there was news. Damn. It turns out, you know what? There was news. Shit. Fuck. Why didn't that come up in my fucking Google search? I mean, you know, they all say do your own research, right? They say do your own research. And look at him. He tried. We saw him. We saw him open a tab and search for GameStop news. Yeah, look at that watch list. I mean, you got to love a guy who doesn't have the NASDAQ over here. He doesn't have QQQ over here. And these other phenomenal tickers. He doesn't have the NASDAQ over here. He's got SQQQ over here. You know, the degen ticker, if you will. Isn't he the guy? Is this the guy that was urging people to hold SQQQ? I can't remember. One of these clowns was foolishly telling people to hold SQQQ, like long term. Like, no. I don't think that's the case.
I don't know. I don't really think that's the case.
No, it's not. Nope.
I don't know. I don't really think that's the case.
Tony, I already told you I don't think it's the case. Okay.
Bro, that's how you know he's not really on our side. Why would he do it now?
Oh, whoa. Okay. Boy, this guy swings more. This guy's mood swings more than mine does when I'm off my meds. I mean, come on. Like, he was just okay.
Are you guys serious, bro? If it dumped like that, it'd have to be dilution. It'd be a 13F.
$13F. No. $12,000 employees. Boy, God have mercy on their souls.
8K.
Why don't you just go to the SEC database and look it up? Oh, here we go. Edgar. No, it's a 10K, right? Did he just look at the date? I think he just looked over at the date. Anyway, I have to do that all the time, so I can't be one to.
Are you guys sure? That guy's not even in the Discord.
And he's telling me that it's dilution, but he's not even.
Not even in the Discord. Don't see anything. Oops. And
hey, pizza
like that, it would have to be dilution.
I mean, it wants me to stop, I think, and because Charlotte was saying, you know, I don't know about this guy. Smoke another. Yeah. Dude, just type GameStop into Edgar. Right, for real. For fucking real. Okay, anyway. Why did it freeze? Oh, I didn't hit play. That's why. But no, it's frozen. It's froze. Stop. Start. Come on. Okay. Well, you know what? We all expire worthless in the end anyway, so what's the difference? What is the difference? That reminds me, I need to... I think I uploaded... I don't know. Actually, don't know if I uploaded that or not. But anyway, let's see what else is out here on AMC real quick. And we're going to end at 11, so if you got the time. Now, we haven't heard anything... Oh, there it is. There it is.
I'm not 100% sure I see. I don't see this dilution news though.
Well, we seem to have hit a brick wall here with this guy. I don't know why. Was he in 60 million frames? Yes, of course he is. You know what? Fuck you. You get 144. Well, I want this thing to actually load. Yeah, they did us a favor. It won't even load on 144. Wow, that's terrible. Are you fucking kidding me? The likes just keep rolling in, though. They keep rolling in. Likes just keep rolling in. I think somebody is, where in the hell? Okay. GameStop. Okay. Well, anyway. Sabotage. Sabotage. Did you call? Okay, I was wondering who called Doug. I was wondering who called Dougie Large. Good job. That was the right call. That was the right call. Okay. You know, this is a typical crap here. Kay Griffin will be the new Bertie Madoff. You know, they're still out here defaming Ken Griffin. You know, AMC stock Logic. Are you kidding me? Logic. Really? There we are. Hey, we're actually in that list. There was Trey. MOAS trigger from day to zero yesterday. Yeah. Just set the MOAS dominoes in motion. Well, yeah. Okay. How about this one? Donnie George. Donnie Georgie Poo. Oh, wait. Trump's going to ban shorting? This is a new one. I haven't seen. Have you guys heard this? Apparently Trump is going to ban short selling. Rumor. Look at this. Look at this crap from fucking Twitter. Hey, Bull Run, are you still on? Here's some great Twitter garbage for. Oh. Woo. Rumor. Trump potentially to ban short selling temporarily via executive order to commence an investigation. Oh, so we're gonna do like the South Koreans, right? We're gonna ban short selling. Oh yeah.
It's not financial advice.
Financial advice isn't it? Advice, entertainment purpose. I forget it. It's been too long.
Please don't make any decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, if you've been following my videos, you know that CSI and myself had did signing, asking them to stop making shorting. We did that like a month and a half, 2 months ago. When we first started doing it, there were probably like a few hundred signatures. Now the signatures are over 8,000. But CSI just sent me this, and it's from X Market News. And I started following him on Twitter, and they follow me. But I'm going to tell you guys something. If this rumor is true, and Trump signs an executive order stopping short selling until they get the naked shorting.
Did you guys have this one on your bingo card? Did you guys have this one on your bingo card? I don't think anybody did. And you're going to have to show me the proof if you did, because you got something. You have a gift. If you had on your bingo card executive order banning short selling. I have to say, this is a shock. This is a new one for me. This is a shock. It's a shocker. This is the shocker. God, look at that face. Oh, man.
We're going to see a big shift in the United States stock market. A majority of the...
That's why you won't see it happen. Probably.
Fraud and corruption is going to stop because I don't believe, based on everything I've seen over the last 5 years, that they can survive 5 trading days without naked shorting a stock. They have created so many counterfeit shares that in order to maintain their short positions, they need to continue adding more counterfeit shares every single day to keep.
Am I the only one who thought he was going to say ad infinitum? No. I really did. I thought he was going to say they're going to continue ad infinitum creating these counterfeit Shias. Shias.
Going. So if shorting is stopped, if it is banned until the investigation on the naked shorting is done, it's going to cause a major, major problem in the stock market. Do I want to see it happen? Of course I do. Because if it happens, a lot of stocks are going to start rising to their true value without all the manipulation that the SEC knows is going on, the DOJ knows is going on, the FBI knows is going on, and they practice willful blindness to all the fraud and corruption. And I'm going to tell you something else, and this is just my opinion. Trump doesn't even have to sign the executive order. Just the rumor of it. And if they believe it's going to happen, they're going to start covering. Okay? If they believe that the ban on short selling is about...
Well, you know what? It's a good thing that they're not stupid enough to believe that that would actually be a thing, you know. But, by the way, I mean, okay, are we talking about banning short selling or banning naked short selling? Because I hate to break it to Don. I hate to break it to you. Naked short selling, like you think is rampant, is already illegal. Okay? So there's that. There's that little detail. Now it says up in the supposed garbage posted on Twitter, Trump potentially set to ban short selling temporarily via executive order. It says nothing about naked short selling, which again is already illegal. So I'm not really sure how to reconcile this other than to say most likely, like 9 out of 10, they're not going, short selling itself is not going to be banned. And 10 out of 10, naked short selling is not what the problem is here. That's a 10 out of 10. 10 non-idiots, all 10 agree. Okay? Naked short selling is not why AMC is down. And if they were naked shorting the whole market, why is Nvidia up so much? Why is Meta up so? Why are these equally as garbage, in my opinion? Stocks up so much. Well, you know, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not quite sure, but I'll tell you, that naked short selling, they got to get rid of. They need to outlaw that. They need to go ahead and do it.
To come down, they are going to start covering their shorts because they don't want to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Because I'm going to tell you something. I believe that the naked shorting is so out of control.
And I'm going to dispute it.
That the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI are going to be forced to hold some bad actors accountable But the only thing is, you know what's going to happen. What happens a lot in the United States stock market, they're going to identify all the fraud and corruption, but the big whales are going to get away with fines, and they're going to lock up some small trader from one of these hedge funds or one of these market makers. Somebody on the lower end of the totem pole is going to end up in handcuffs. And the big dogs, the whales, the ones who are supervising this Ponzi scheme, supervising this criminal enterprise, are probably going to get away with fines. And
Don, I need you to be a little bit less defeatist, please. Please. Come on. Don't you believe in yourself and the whole thing a little bit more than that? I hope you do. All right. You might as well.
And then 12 months from now, 18 months from now, they will start the same shenanigans again and again and again.
Guaranteed.
To hold some big dogs accountable. Okay? Some well-known individuals need to be held accountable. They need
maybe like Gren Kiffin?
They need to go to jail. If they do that and take away license to trade, we are gonna see some major shit in the United
No.
stock market.
You got that backwards. Make it so that you have to get a license before you can trade. That's how you do it. That keeps all of you clowns out of the market. No, we like the noise. The noise is good. It's a Tom Sosnoff. Well-known individuals like Gen Kiffin. Yeah.
So while this is a rumor, I hope that is true.
Well, it's not.
That President
Sadly, it's not.
signs an executive order banning shorting in the United States stock market until they do an investigation on all the naked shorting. But I also
I mean, I guess if Elon Musk were to, bitch enough about Tesla stock going down and stuff, maybe that's the only reason. I mean, I don't know. They seem to be able to. They seem to be able to get whatever else they want. But I don't think that people like Elon Musk really care about that, because I don't know. He's already got so much money. I mean, why would he be? Let's use the Joe Rogan argument. Man, he's already got so much money. Why would he want more? That's the Joe Rogan argument, Literally said that. He's already got billions of dollars. He's already got the most money in the world. Why would he be doing any of this for himself? Solid argument, Joe. Solid fucking argument. Joe's brain dead, by the way. Joe is officially brain dead. His brain has died. It died. It went into a hole and died. Crawled into a hole. It crawled into a hole. Crawled into a big ice core what's his name? He's a fake archaeologist. Well, anyway, I can't remember his name. I'll just use another faker's name. He crawled into a hole that Lex Fridman dug, and he died. So, anyway. Oops.
It's a strong rumor that this is actually going to happen. The short sellers, the naked short sellers, are going to start scrambling so they don't get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's a great idea for President Trump to sign an executive order banning shorting in the United States of America?
I don't think he will, and I don't want him to. So there you go. No, not that guy. Not the It Was Aliens guy. Gordon. Fuck. He's British. Oh, I forget what his series of books was called. Illusion of the Gods, I think. Hmm. He's a pseudoscientist. Oh, I can't remember his name. Graham Hancock. There you go. Graham Hancock. Graham motherfucking Hancock. This guy. Joe likes him a lot. Joe really likes him because he tells him things that are exciting, like the mainstream scientists got it wrong. They like a big cover up. He's very conspiratorial, just like the apes, really. It's just not about stock prices. It's about mainstream and academic archaeology. He says that, the archaeologists which he is not, by the way. He's not an archaeologist. He's a journalist. But he represents himself as like this, well, I'm not tied to the official narrative, and I'm not a tenured professor who's trying to keep my job. So they don't have any reason to silence me, and I'm telling the truth. He's a complete hack. Complete hack. Anyway, but anyway, getting back. So I like to end this with something a little bit cheerier, maybe. Let's see what Tom Sosnoff has to say. We like Tom Sosnoff. We like Tasty Trade. We like those guys. So let's see what they have to say.
There's some stuff going down that I think is very weird, and I feel like
we're not going to watch the whole thing, unfortunately.
That Bitcoin and digital assets are being used as a catch-all.
You don't think so? You don't say, Tom. You don't say. Now, I like Tom. I love Tom. And I love Dylan. I like both of these guys a lot. I like not because I always agree with them, but I just think that they have, a lot of experience, interesting perspectives, an international viewpoint, even though they're both white dudes. I think Dylan lives in Italy or something. Anyway, I like these guys. But you also have to remember that Tom runs a brokerage. He runs a platform, and he's been pushing for digital assets. He's been pushing for NFTs. He's been pushing for crypto. So he is a believer in them on some level, I think. But I mean, he also wants to sell trades, so to speak. He wants to make money as a broker. So it's just interesting, I guess, let me just say it that way. It's interesting for him to say this because I've been thinking about this for a while. I know some of us have been talking about it for a while. And, so again, I say, you don't say, Tom, really, you don't say, but it's not a slam. It's a love slap.
And digital assets are being used as a catch-all.
To catch all your money.
So like GameStop's just one of the, just bringing up a name from the past. GameStop.
Here's how it ties in, and thank you, Charlotte, for throwing this one out in the Telegram group. So Charlotte found this one. Thank you. It's fascinating. I hadn't watched any of it yet, so we're going to watch as much as we can handle. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll just let the whole thing play, and we'll just let him play us out. I don't know. We'll just
hardly
going live.
Yeah, GameStop, since a blast from the past. GameStop hardly
Something that happened.
Yeah, GameStop since the meme stock time, whatever, doesn't trade a ton. Most of us don't do much in there.
Doesn't hit the meters.
It ain't a thing anymore. Just Tom, you can say it.
Let's put it that way.
There you go. It's just another crappy stock. Oh, see, yeah.
Okay. So GameStop decides, okay,
we'll be back.
Well, our numbers are, whatever. We're right in line with what they're supposed to be. And we made a little bit more money than we thought, but our revenues were down, all the same crap that firms usually say when it comes to earnings. But then they say, but you know what? We're going to invest all our free cash in Bitcoin. Like, that's the catch-all. Okay. Instead of
that's what IG does, that's what Microsoft, that's what Pfizer, anybody with a little cash on their balance sheet.
Well, actually, that's not what anybody does, really. It's just what a few companies, Tesla did a little bit, but mostly, it's kind of the micro strategy.
I love these guys.
Playbook more than anything else. And Ryan Cohn and those guys, the CEO and stuff, they're just essentially taking the micro strategy playbook and saying, everything that we've got lying around, instead of reinvesting in the business, instead of innovating, instead of doing anything else, we're going to invest it in an asset that we feel like.
It was unintentional. Unnecessary Bill O'Reilly. Unnecessary Bill O'Reilly. That was accidental there. Wayne's World, anybody? Okay, anyway. This is exactly what we've said. This is exactly what we've said. Instead of investing in the company, instead of investing into the business, they're buying Bitcoin. So you don't have a business then. There is no business for you to develop or grow or build or new product lines or new areas or anything for you to do with your money besides buy Bitcoin. First of all, that's fucking pathetic. It just kind of is. Secondly, I mean, what about what happens when Bitcoin goes down? There's always money in the banana stand, right? There's always money in Bitcoin. There's always online casinos. Did you see that story about the state lottery that they don't want to pay out the $80 million win on a ticket that was purchased online? So I don't know. You can trust that online gambling. I don't know if you can trust that online stock trading. Always in the banana stand.
Will outperform what we could do in whatever industry, like whatever our industry is considered. And I'm not sure exactly what you determine GameStop to be.
A scam? Oh.
whatever it is. But instead of all that, we're going to essentially take all the money we have that doesn't go into running the business, and we're just going to buy digital assets. And hopefully the digital assets, because they have a much higher expected move and they have upside, will take this company to different places. And then we can raise more money and buy more Bitcoin. And it's a game plan that worked for MicroStrategies. It's a game plan that's worked for everybody who's bought digital assets so far. So let's keep buying digital assets. And under the current administration, digital assets seem to be the way to go. And to me, I can't think of a more dangerous approach to building a business than that. Like, I can't think of a more dangerous approach than a dumbass CEO who decides, rather than doing what I was hired to do,
a dumbass CEO.
Company around with which the reason I took the job as a CEO is because.
But wait, hold on, Tom. He's not taking a salary. Okay, he's not taking a salary, right? We always hear that. Isn't he not taking a salary? So did they really hire him? I don't know. Yeah, they did, because how's he being paid? Well, he's not being paid a salary, but he's being paid in the preferred method of the BRO-LIGARCH, billionaire boy wonder class, in stocks. Anyway, continuing. I'm sorry. Just shut the fuck up now.
That I can, with whatever's here, I can create something out of that. And rather than do that, I'm going to go out and you're going to pay me a lot of money to go out and buy Bitcoin. And we're going to trade at a huge premium to the price of Bitcoin because we're giving you a different vehicle for buying Bitcoin. There's nothing, it's not like strategic. It's like, we're just going to buy it.
It's a scheme. They would call it a scheme.
So the stock is up, whatever, $3 today or 10%. So you get a 10% boost in your stock price. Now, what's interesting about that is when you're a, let's just see what their market cap is. I have no idea off the top of my head. Stock's up about $3 today. Market cap in there. Market cap is $11 billion. So it's a $27 stock. Stock's up $280, 10% move. So you get $1 billion. You get $1 billion valuation boost for announcing that you are going to buy Bitcoin. Okay. Now, there is no math model. There's zero. It's not even possible with whatever cash they have, whether it's $1 billion, $500 million, $2 billion. I have no idea how much cash they have, but can't be that much money. But
4.8
money they have,
as we learned from our discussion with Marantz. But anyway, this was also 1 o'clock this afternoon, and they were doing this live on the spot, on camera. By the way, this is what it looks like when professionals have this discussion. This is what a professional discussion of this looks and sounds like. And I gotta say, I think we do pretty goddamn well. Okay, anyway.
And the premium that was just added, that 10%.
Except he's not like, oh, well, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now and let the other guy talk. That's what I'm saying.
There's no math model that works for having you buy Bitcoin as to justify or rationalize a 10% jump in stock price. In fact, Bitcoin agrees. Bitcoin's down, let's say, $1,500 today. So 2%. So the knows it's a joke, but their stock's up 10%. So it makes the arb or the ratio even worse. I guess my point is we have reached a level of Bitcoin / digital asset insanity that has limits that now I think are becoming fairly dangerous. Also, there was an announcement this morning.
It's a problem if Tom Sosnoff says it's a problem.
Trump media or Trump coin, whatever it is. The one
it
Donald
is.
Trump and his family, his immediate family own over 60% of, is going to launch a stable coin.
What?
I read the article in the Wall Street Journal. So this is
what
crazy left-wing publication or whatever it is. The Wall Street Journal outlined it very clearly. And essentially the discussion was, should the leader of the free world and the
short selling? Oh, no.
be able to create a stable coin, essentially a currency that people will use, and be able to profit off that when it's probably the most conflicted business that any U.S. president has ever been in the history of this country?
The answer, obviously, the answer is obviously no. But when Tom puts it like that, I have to say the reality is going to be, hell yeah, he's going to do it. Oh, God. Oh, fuck.
Started during their presidency, to use the presidency. And what does that mean for the regulatory.
The Wall Street Journal also made the point that the regulator of the currency is the issuer of the currency. So it's one of the because that's
my next point. That's my next point.
Yeah.
Because so the risk here is that when the regulator is the issuer, who is going to protect the consumer?
Especially when you've dismantled the CFPB.
How come nobody has a problem with any of this?
But I think well, first of all, in reverse order, most of us have a problem with this.
Oh God! See, I love these guys.
Well, it doesn't seem to be. I'm not reading a lot about problems.
The people that have the problem have no.
If you could see me right now, you'd see I'm wearing my Tasty Live beret.
Donald Trump is proven. Talking to a friend of mine earlier today. Donald Trump may be the single greatest. Like, some people have power, some people don't have power. Some people know how to use the power they have very productively to get more power, to get more of what they want. Some people have a lot of power but don't know how to use it that well to get things or do things. I don't know that there's another person on earth who's better at using power than to get what he wants than Donald Trump. He may not be the smartest man. He may not.
In other words,
in
other words, it sounds like what Dylan is trying to say, in not so many words, is that he's one of the greatest scammers that's ever lived. Assuming he's alive. That's what I'm hearing. People using power to get what they want. It's corruption. Plain and simple.
Not be the most innovative man. But with whatever power he has, going back decades, no one has proven more skillful at using whatever power he has to utilize it to get more power, up to the point where now he is not only the president of the United States, he's the president of the United States for a second term with a mindlessly idiotic cabinet that is completely loyal to him, unlike the first time around, a completely compliant Republican majority in Congress, where he's now issuing crypto assets. He's issuing securities, we'll call it, I guess. He's the biggest regulator of a new form of securities, and he's also angling to be one of the or a big issuer of the very same security that he's in the process of legalizing or further mainstreaming. I won't say legalizing, but he's sort of normalizing, which is a brilliant use of power to get him as much he wants. I think Donald Trump.
Hold it. Stop for 1 second. But just stop for 1 second. Is it a brilliant use of power, or is it going to be the end of like there is a very thin line. This is America, okay? Even in places,
great.
You'd have to go all the way to North Korea where there's unchecked abuses of power. In America, the actual quote from the Journal today is, "We haven't had a president in recent memory ever sign legislation that could directly affect his financial interests like Trump has." Okay, it's never happened before. What he did with this whole stablecoin movement, among other things.
It shouldn't happen in any country ever.
They go on to say it's a clear violation of ethics norm. These are quotes from the Wall Street Journal. The point here is, at how far can he push before it all crumbles down on top of him?
And we're going to stop right there with that question. And I'm going to copy the video URL at the current time and paste it into the chat so that everybody can go watch the rest of it if they so choose, which I believe that Charlotte her link starts a little after this, and we started from the beginning. So I'm assuming that this gets juicier, and I'm going to keep watching it. And you should keep watching it with the link that I just put in the chat. But it's getting late. It's 11:15 here on the good old Eastern time zone. And it's a school night, so to speak. So we got to get out of here. We got to get the hell out of here. But interesting questions. Interesting and relevant questions. Great discussion. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Charlotte and Manuel, Lynn, Model 3 Dude, Corax, Bull Run, the Chuck. Hopefully I didn't miss Bad Back. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, you weren't chatting enough. So you need to chat more next time. But I appreciate the submissions, tips, conversation, thoughts, support, and everything else. It's literally the reason I do this. You know, to reach out and touch someone. So anyway, thank you. I'm going to roll the final song here. And
You can't kill Michael Myers! It's impossible!
This is what happens when you work to change things.
You're being a little bitch! What do you fucking want from me? Get off my dick!
You know, if you don't understand, it's better sometimes not to speak and just be proven a complete imbecile in the matter. Okay, so.
Well, that was another one. Another one in the books.
Fuck you. I think you a bitch. You understand what I'm saying?
Another one for the history books. Another one for the annals.
Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying it? What are you saying? Huh?
Well, what I'm saying, Tony, is that, yeah, you're crazy. Anyway, I got to get out of here. I'll see you guys in Telegram.
And then all of a sudden you change.
Have a good one. Thanks. See ya. Good night.